Hello there, and welcome to the Night Owl, a show that we do twice a week where we discuss all the latest in pop culture news, TV and movie reviews, gaming news, and just the general conversations of the day. For those who don't know me, I'm Price of Reason, and with me, as always, is my co host, Professor R2. How's it going, Professor?
Going well. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, real good.
Yeah.
And yeah, so glad. So glad that we're doing this as we always do, and there's just
Yeah.
a nice turnout of people hanging out with us, and that's always great. And we're doing it here on, Rumble. Rumble. This is a Rumble-driven show, and we just love, streaming on this platform. We're also on other platforms, and just great to see everybody here. So yeah, it's
Absolutely.
it's another one of those days. There's never a shortage of things going on, I suppose.
Nope. Nope. All sorts of things going on. Stock market's going crazy. All sorts of stuff going on in Congress. There's tariff war going on. It's wild. All sorts of
Right.
stuff. I don't know. Where do we start, Price?
Well, let's start because there were all these, that whole thing that was happening in Trump Tower today. I thought that was rather interesting.
Oh
I don't know. I'm going to
yes.
try to find some video. Did you see all of that?
Yeah, a bunch of people showing up, all in supposedly all of them in support of this. This is the free Palestine guy who
Yeah.
looks like he's going to have his green card revoked because he's threatened all sorts of nasty things on the U.S. Wants to tear down Western civilization, but we're not allowed to get rid of those people. Yeah, apparently.
I guess.
Yeah.
Let me share it. Let's see. Okay. So it's this thing here, and tell me if you can hear it.
Oh, not shared yet. You got a presentation mode there.
Oh, I need to do
Yep.
presentation. You're
Yeah, there we go.
okay. Got it. Okay. Let me know if you can hear it now.
Yep.
So this was just a very strange thing. Sometimes when I see all the stuff that's been happening lately, I can't help but feel like it's almost like a coordinated effort. There's just I'm not saying that it can't be that some of these things happen to happen at the same time, but sometimes I feel like there's a coordinated effort. Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh, it definitely feels coordinated. Yeah, all honestly, all of these protests that we've seen, all of them have this feel that they've been coordinated by some other group. There's clearly been some in the past that we've seen. It's like, where do they get all these signs? Where do they get the money? Who's bussing these people in from different places? We've seen a bunch of things happening recently that it's like, all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of people showing up at town hall meetings all over the country who are not from those constituencies. They're being bussed in. They're driving in from somewhere, right? They're all being sent there to disrupt town hall meetings, especially for Republican senators and for Republican representatives. And they're showing up and they're all kind of saying the same things and doing the same things, and it's a little fishy, isn't it? Like how they all seem to be doing the same thing, and yeah, this they all show up with the same T-shirts and the same signs and all this stuff, cramming themselves to the Trump Hotel. Yeah, definitely feels very very much a coordinated effort from somebody.
Right. I mean, you had think of all the things that have been happening. You have those Tesla things, people are going to burn them. Then there's people buying Teslas and burning the Teslas that they bought. There was, yeah, that guy just got up and bought a Tesla so he could burn it. I mean, there's a lot of things here that don't seem to make sense to me, and the timing of them all together. And then these guys all showing up here and doing this thing. Think about it. I mean, I understand that people are have the right to have different opinions on this conflict, but I mean, from what I could tell, and this is based on the research that I did, unless I misunderstood and didn't look properly, but from what I could tell, that guy was not only organizing things on campus on Columbia, some of those things had people that were, either handing out information or actively wishing for the, self deletion for the deletion of the United States. So if you're coming
Mhm.
to a country and you're trying to be, a resident here and you're organizing a lot of these kind of protests because the place that you're at is bad, that's usually not a good combination. And it almost feels also like where did that guy come from? Also, I'm not saying that he couldn't have gotten up and been very passionate about it, but there were certain things that it wouldn't surprise me if there's something else driving his presence here. Meaning, it's not necessarily that that guy's presence is here like as part of a vacuum.
Yeah, he didn't just magically show up and start doing what he was doing, right? Somebody supported him in getting him here, right? And made sure that someone with those opinions was out there to speak. Yeah, that kind of thing. Seems fishy.
It seems fishy, and I don't know if these are Americans or if they're what these people's backgrounds are, but man, I mean, we've reached a point where people are like, willing to go to such great lengths to try to protect a guy who basically thinks that the United States is bad, if
Well,
you
all of
understand.
Western civilization, frankly,
Right, right.
he's called for all of Western civilization to fall.
Right. So it's just I don't know. It's like we live in some kind of NPC reality. I don't even care how you feel about a conflict, not conflict, but if there's a person that's the kind of thing that he wants, why would you think that that's good? And I think that that just shows like a lot of these younger students and these people that either in some cases they're misinformed or in some cases they're just they think they're being rebellious or something like that. But uh, I don't know. I mean, th there's certain cases where I think that somebody should have the right to freedom of speech for sure. Most cases, you know what I mean? It's actually that most cases, I would say that if you have something to say, you can say it. But if you're actively organizing things that end up in, there were violent demonstrations and things that involved also the police, things like that. And the theme of these things is basically that, you don't like this place. I'm saying that very mildly because I don't want any trouble anywhere, but you understand what I'm trying to say.
Mhm.
So I'm
Yeah.
just surprised to see this. It looks very coordinated. I saw another thing that annoyed me that I saw this that let me see. Let's see if I can find it. I found a few weird articles. You can also tell like the mainstream media, some of them are very fishy with their what they pop up with. There was one, I don't know if it was like something random that they were trying okay, this is this is the one that they were trying to do. Uh, did you see this?
Yeah.
You know, all I know is this, most people from this group that I've met, do not, support this guy, if you
No.
understand what I'm saying, like,
Mm-mm.
this is a very strange narrative in my opinion, and I feel like, part of this weird coordination thing is also this. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I'm not saying that all of
Not
them
at all,
said
no.
this. I'm not saying that all of them said this, but the PBS for some reason had this article trying to paint it as like a Jewish protest, and man, I don't know what to tell you. That doesn't quite make sense to me.
Yes,
Unless they're like,
it was supposedly organized by a group called Jewish Voice for Peace. Does that actually mean that it is actually Jewish? That those were all Jewish people? No.
I don't
Uh,
know. I don't know, man. I've never met any Jewish people that think that that guy is good, so I don't really know what to tell you. Um, Sean,
a wild Sean Crummell
you're
appears.
on
Hey there,
mute though.
Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, I've done this before.
So yeah, so it's great to see Sean here. Sean is with us today, which is great.
You got like
Great that he's joined
3,000
us.
people watching you. Is there no big booby gamer streaming right now?
Sh- oh, Sean Feed, very careful with those type of
Yes.
comments, Sean.
Oh,
Sorry, Sean.
sorry. Sorry. I
I'm
didn't
just
know.
kidding. No, it was funny. It was a funny comment, but
I didn't
no.
know we were being cracked down on
Oh,
now on the free speech about
well, actually,
boobs.
believe it or not, there are some there are some streamers with ample ample yeah, you know what I mean. They
Also,
are streaming and we're still featured. Wow.
nice.
That
Yeah.
is nice to know. Yeah, definitely.
Use the
Oh,
grandmother
wow.
term of bosom that work around the system.
How's it going, Sean?
Would have been here sooner, but I had to put my wife to bed.
You always say that. You say that, and it makes it seem like she's a child. You're like, I'm putting my wife to
No,
bed.
but
I'll be right
we
with
just
you.
have a routine. I make sure she's all good to go, and she tries to convince me to go to bed, and I'm like, I have so little free time. I'm gonna stay up as long as I can.
Gotta tuck her in, read her a bedtime story. I understand. I'm a married man too. I get it.
Bring her a glass of water.
Yeah.
Bring her the teddy bear.
I'm sure she was impressed when you said, "Listen, honey, I'm gonna go to the Night Owl now to hang out with Professor R2 and Price of Reason." You probably showed pictures of us, and she was immediately sold. This is Professor R2. This is Price of Reason. I'm gonna go hanging out with them.
If she saw the pictures of you guys, she would completely understand
Yeah.
after knowing me and
Yeah.
my bookshelf and this Star Destroyer over here.
Yeah. I'm gonna go hang out with an orange fish and an educated droid. It's gonna be awesome.
By the way, Sean, remind me, didn't you once have a green screen? Am I crazy for thinking that at some point in your life you had a green screen in back of you, and then you were just like, "F it"?
Yeah, well, doing I couldn't do my streams anymore, and then going on Quantum Leap, I was like, this is far too much effort to put into setting
Right?
it all up
Nobody.
and stuff.
This is totally fine. I don't even remember what you when you had green screen, but I remember such a thing existed.
It did, and I used to project my characters on it, and then Rumble. I don't have many options for Rumble. That's why I'm like, hey, I'm a human, and I'm not as cool as everybody else on spaceships. So yeah, it won't let me
You're the
do.
cool one. You add you add a sense of legitimacy to this whole thing. So we're happy to have you.
Yes, there are
Like,
humans in this.
Humanity.
right?
Some
You
humanity.
add the human touch of the whole story. Because I think some people they look and they think, oh, there's like a strange knitted puppet and a robot talking. But once there's like a person with us, it's like on the Muppets when there's the Muppets, but also the guest, the human guest.
I used to
I
love
think
it,
that
man. Go ahead.
yeah, I used to like that too.
Well, it was always like because I love cartoons and I always loved movies. For me, the Muppets were like the stepping point between live action and cartoons, and I always loved that humans could interact with them.
I'm trying to share this thing. Istophobos gifted 5 Price of Reason Live memberships on YouTube, which I'm very thankful for. Let me try to find a way to pull that up. Somebody today told me that he. I guess I lost like a friend today because I guess somebody heard my stream and they said you're too political in your live streams.
I saw that.
And I was rather sad about it. You know what I mean? Like, also, we talk about stuff that's happening, stuff that's in the news, and we talk about stuff that, that's political. But I don't think any of us are like extreme political people. We're just sort of looking at what's happening in the world and just talking about it. And I don't think we're doing it in a way that's I don't know. I didn't see it as though that I'm alienating anybody that we're talking about topics like this, and I feel bad if somebody feels that way, but at the same time, what can I
And
do?
that quote or the tweet that you showed or whatever it was, the impression I got was they're just tired of politics overall, so they just don't want to hear it regardless, and that's
You,
fine.
you know,
It can be
the thing is,
exhausting.
the thing is that we do streams that are like Quantum Leap streams. We talk about movies and different things like that, TV shows. So you don't have to listen to the live stream if you don't want, but it is what it is. Istophobos gifted 5 memberships. We really appreciate that. Istophobos is a friend of the channel. He's had some great takes, and he sends me some material here and there, and has a lot of good ideas. So yeah, back to this thing with the protest. I guess people were arrested, correct, Professor?
Yes, there was some 90 people, 98 people who were arrested after a couple of hours. There weren't any, like violent, outbreaks or anything like that. I guess some people left willingly and some others didn't, and then they were arrested. So, yeah, it like you said, it all seems very organized. I was looking up a little bit about this particular group, and trying to find out where some of their funding came from, but they're not very transparent about their
Usually
funding.
those things aren't.
Yeah,
One has to wonder about the timing about all these things going on. Let's see if I can. This is them being. Can you see it?
yes.
So this is, I guess, them being arrested. This is just some weird phony baloney crap.
Yeah. So here, if this group that calls themselves a Jewish Voice for Peace, here is their operational purpose. It says the agenda of JVP is to dilute support for Israel in the Jewish community and the American public at large, towards the goal of reducing or eliminating the United States government's economic, military, and political support for Israel. To this end, JVP promotes anti-Israel boycotts, divestments, sanctions, and campaigns across U.S. campuses and academic associations, unions, churches, and corporate stockholder meetings. By deploying the language of demonization and delegitimization, JVP also acts to provide a facade of Jewish legitimacy to their campaigns. So yeah, they just use the name Jewish to try and give it some legitimacy to what they're doing, but their interests do not widely represent those of
course not. This
Jews.
is some nonsense. This is absolutely some nonsense, and this is some coordinated thing that somebody paid for. I don't know where these people were bussed in from or what they're doing here, and they're all wearing these shirts. When you see stuff like this, there's this feeling that this isn't just some guy that thought, oh, I just want to try to organize this little thing. This is something that somebody orchestrated here. And I felt that way when I saw the attacks on the Tesla dealerships. I felt that way when I saw this. There's been other things. What else has been going on the past few days? I feel like there's a number of different things going on.
There's posters being put up for Elon, I think in England, or it's saying delete your account or something. I only saw it in passing, like Joe Rogan posted it or something.
It's like, I don't know, this is such extreme stuff that we're seeing. At the end of the day, I mean, Trump was elected. He had the electoral vote. He had the popular vote. There's the House and the Congress and all, the Senate, and I said this the other day, that they're always pretending that they want to save democracy or protect democracy, but by doing what they're doing, they're actually against democracy. Because if we're talking about democracy, Trump is in there fair and square. I mean, he got elected. And I've said this before, like when Biden, took office, what I told people was, I hope he does a good job. I hope he does well, because if he does well, it's good for us. I personally don't think he did very well, but that's a different story. But I think that the idea is that when somebody is the president, I think that at that point you just hope that the person will do a good job. The amount of meltdowns we see and extreme behavior from the more like far left, is kind of bonkers, in my opinion.
It seems funded. It seems like
Oh, it absolutely is.
every
Yeah.
every time they discover something new, it seems like another millionaire panics and puts out some kind of plan to try and take away from what's going to be brought to light.
Yeah.
I shared one of those or some of those posters, the UK posters that Sean was talking about.
Okay, so let me shut down my thing.
So yes, this
Oh,
is one
that's the
of
new
them.
thing.
Yeah, it's yeah. Delete your account if the bar is a yacht lets Yahtzees in. It's a Yahtzee bar. Oh, so they're then of course claiming that X is full of Yahtzees. It's full of mustache men. Sure it is. Yeah. Well, then if I would say Blue Sky, if you let PDF files in, it's a PDF file
Hmm.
social network.
Mhm.
That's Blue Sky. This one, I guess, Tesla, the Swastika, it's they're calling it now with white power steering. Yeah,
That's terrible.
and then they're putting up these signs in the underground.
Jeez.
Parfum de 1939. Mm-hmm.
Does that mean
So
perfume of 1939 or it smells like
Yeah,
1939?
smells like 1939 is
Okay.
what they're saying. Smells, and then they, of course, they have him. They've got a swastika on this bottle, and then underneath it says "poor wankers." So it's it's a
Jeez.
scent for wankers. Yeah, and of course they're taking this one frame, from him, out of context,
Honestly,
as they've been doing nonstop recently.
when I watched that speech or whatever when he did that, I was like, "Oh, that's not gonna go well for him." Because I knew they
yeah,
would latch
Oh
on
yeah,
to
but
it and
we've
take it
also
out of context and
And of
stuff.
course, but we've also got there's the thing is there's dozens of videos of other politicians making
Oh, yeah.
awkward gestures where if you were taken out of context, it looks like they're doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, of course. Well, you can take
so
anything out of context and make it look
Yeah, of course,
terrible.
and that's kind of the point. Yep.
I do see that in the midst of all of this, all this kind of Tesla hate and all this stuff that was going on, Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli prime minister, said that Tesla basically, they want to look into an option to maybe get some Teslas for some top officials in Israel. So, in any case, it showed a sort of support here. And I see that like Elon Musk answered him and said like much appreciated. So I mean, basically, I think that most sane people don't think that you need to go like burn dealerships and stuff. I think that's really stupid.
I haven't even
Also,
heard of that. I've been working, so I missed all of that.
yeah, I mean, they keep burning Tesla dealerships and doing weird things like that. But the truth is that a lot of times people own these dealerships. You're not hurting necessarily. I'm sure it's not good for Elon Musk. It's not good for his image or whatever it is. But you're hurting people that actually either work there or have this dealership or whatever it is. And
Mhm.
uh, I don't know. I mean, considering that what we always hear about all this kind of the January 6th and all that stuff, it's funny how you know when there's stuff going on the other side that's kind of violent and things like that, including those protests in 2020. The media is always like wonderful. They love it. It's always great when it happens on that side. I guess, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
So there's that, and I wanted to show you another article that popped up today. Another situation that. So I guess at some point, and this is what I'm saying, that it all feels very coordinated. It feels like all the celebrities in Hollywood were told, "Listen, now is the time to unload on Elon Musk. He's our like prime target now. Just unload on him in every article and everything." So now you have this actress who I think her name is Ayo Adabiri. I don't know if she's the one from that Bear show or whatever it is.
Yes.
In any case, I guess at some point there was a rumor that they're thinking of replacing Johnny Depp with her in Pirates of the Caribbean, and Elon Musk said Disney sucks. Now, okay, she's saying that that didn't happen. To be fair, 99% of the time when people say that, it is actually true. And it wouldn't have been nobody would have been surprised if that would have been real, nobody would have been shocked. They actually initially announced that they wanted Margot Robbie, then I guess they announced her. I actually I don't
Oh,
know if she was tied to it or not. Margot Robbie, certainly there was talk about her replacing him. So it's not completely far fetched, but okay.
I
So at
remember
this
the Margot one. I never heard anything about this chick.
So now she's saying, "Oh, some of the most insane threats and racial slurs in my life." I don't know if it's a number one moment, but for sure top three for a fake reboot of a movie I'd never even heard of. And then Musk, she called him a double. They're doing the mustache man thing with a saluting thing in reference to Musk's
Mhm.
inaugural thing, and see what she says here, like the way she says it. Now let me show you what happened with I may have shown it last time with like Bill Burr and Chelsea Handler. Very similar language. It's almost like all these celebrities have been given like talking points, and they're all just going over and over, the same talking points, saying the same thing. It reminds me of how also the Democrats were all reciting something. The other day when they were all saying the exact same thing,
Oh
and then
yeah.
they're all tweeting the exact same thing.
Yep.
Uh, I do feel they're not very creative. They have very much a NPC mentality. They all like download the same talking points and they just say them over and over again. It's kind of funny because I've met people like that in real life, and even in real life, when I meet people like that, it annoys me. Now, it's not to say, and I've said it before, it doesn't mean that you can't criticize people. It doesn't mean that you can't criticize Elon Musk or you can't criticize Trump or you can't criticize people. Nobody's perfect, and I don't think that either of those guys are perfect. Nobody is. I'm not perfect either. And sometimes you can see something and you can point it out and say, you know what, maybe I don't agree with this, or I don't like this, and I still think that that's totally fine. But this kind of, oh, it's all like the mustache man. It's all the mustache man. Like that's so tired at this point, and they're just. It's just you'd think that after these elections they'd learn at least something about the way they communicate, but nothing has changed. It's the same NPC mentality.
I think I'm pretty great.
What'd you say?
I think I'm pretty great.
You think you're pretty great?
I'm just kidding. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you mean you're not saying well, I
You're
was
like,
saying
I'm
people are
not
perfect?
perfect. Nobody's perfect. I'm pretty good.
No, I understand. Listen, I'm not saying like we all try to be good people, and I'm
I'm
not
teasing.
saying any. I'm just saying that nobody is beyond criticism. You can criticize anybody. Like we'll get to it shortly. Trump has been doing a lot of stuff with tariffs, and I don't know yet how this is all going to play out. But when he does it, it does have an impact on the market, and you can only hope that this thing sort of will stabilize. I understand why he's doing what he's doing, and I genuinely hope that it'll achieve the results that he's talking about. But in those moments when you see the market feeling that kind of pain or that kind of uncertainty, it certainly, it's only human to think, whether the entire strategy is always good or not, or if timing is always right. But again, saying that it doesn't mean that you have to go all mustache man. You know what I mean? You could say, well, let's hope that this policy works, and that's kind of my attitude.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to have a 0 to 1 million speed for their opinions. It's like it's either all or nothing.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, the funny, the thing about Chelsea Handler too, and this whole thing, like specifically her, she's so irrelevant. Like, who actually cares
Mhm.
about anything she has to say? She has had like a couple of failed talk shows. She did stand up at one point, but I don't think she's had a stand up special in forever. I mean, who actually cares anything about what she has to say? And then her opinions are just bog standard, cut and paste, same thing that everyone else is saying. Oh, we didn't vote for Elon Musk. No, we didn't. But we voted for, people voted for Trump,
But
and he brought Elon in. He's, and honestly, yeah. And they say, "Did you vote to get rid of the Department of Education?" Well, I voted Donald Trump in, and uh, yeah, yeah, we kind of did vote for that. We kind of are okay with them eliminating that
I mean,
department.
I I have to say that his explanation, made at least some kind of sense when he addressed Congress, because he said that so much money is going into it, but the United States is very low on the list in the world of education. So whatever that department was supposed to be doing, it obviously wasn't really doing it because, spending so much money and being, at the bottom of the list or in a place that's not good on the list, that's not what you're expecting when you're spending so many billions on something.
Oh yeah,
So
I mean we're talking about some of them where their budget has gone up, you know, 15x, since the original, since it was originally introduced, 45 years ago or something, and in that time, the United States has not improved its educational outcomes. In fact, compared to the world, we've only gone down. It's only gotten worse. And then it seems like the only answer people can come up with is, well, then they need more money. It's like, no, we've been giving them more money. That's the department has more money than it ever has had before, and our outcomes are worse. Clearly, the money is not the problem. It has to be something else. It's got to be maybe how the money is being handled, or what that department is doing, in how it's messing with educational outcomes in different states. So, yeah, and of course, yeah, we all know, everyone who knows anything about it knows that the Department of Education was heavily involved in pushing DEI and all sorts of other ideologies and stuff down into schooling nationwide. And they're able to do that just by saying, oh, here's all these funds. Oh, but you can only have these funds if you institute these programs, and or you meet these goals and all this stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it's just become a way for feds to mess more and more with what's being taught in the classroom, and demand more and more things showing up in classrooms in public schools that have nothing to do with what we really should be spending time teaching our students. We literally have an American public, it's over 60% of adult uh, working age adults cannot read above a sixth grade level. It's astonishing, right? There's somewhere, I'd have to go look up the statistics. It's something like 18% are functionally illiterate.
Hmm. How do they
wow.
measure that? Do you know? Like, what are they?
I'd have to look it up, yeah, but they there's just a number of different surveys and stuff like that they've done. But yeah, it's embarrassing. We are nowhere near the top of the the educational pyramid, the educational ladder around the world anymore. We're lagging far behind, and yeah, it has nothing to do with how much money we've put in. That's
By
not it.
the way, I just want to point out because also I see some of the comments in the chat. I wanted to just say I know a lot of people on Rumble. They have an app, and they just kind of put stuff on. Some of them sometimes watch the app almost like a streaming app. They want to watch news and streams, and they just watch it through an app, even on their TV or on their phone. And I know that a lot of times maybe they're watching and they haven't subscribed yet, or haven't made opened up an account for Rumble. Now, doing an account for Rumble is free. So if you're watching this and you can, I highly recommend it. You should just sign up for Rumble. And if you do that and you feel like following us, that's also great. And then you'll always be notified when there's streams. And it's just a good platform to support because they've been so big on free speech. And that's really what drove us to start this show that we've been doing now for a while, is just because of the freedom that we have on Rumble. Now it is on different platforms in addition to it, but Rumble is the place that we know that we can talk about whatever we want to talk about, and freedom of speech now is more important than ever. So always very important to support them. They have both like a paid and a free tier, and I highly recommend this platform. So just wanted to put that out there. And back to whatever it is that we were discussing here.
Wanna
The dead man said Chelsea Handler sucks, and that's how, that's how she got famous. You never know. Who knows? But I will say this because you like listening to lore and certain things like that. I want to say, this was maybe 12, 13 years ago. I don't know the exact time. I once met Chelsea Handler. I was at a party for Chelsea Handler.
She threw her own party?
It was something, okay, somebody threw some kind of event for Chelsea Handler, and they needed something because I told you before that I worked with sometimes either talent or booking talent for events. Sometimes it would be corporate events, private events. Sometimes it would be, in different setups. And I actually did this professionally. I worked in this field for years. So she had some kind of, I don't know if it was a birthday party or what it was, but there was something that was needed, some kind of entertainment that was needed at this event, and I was involved in bringing the entertainment. So because I was involved, I was there. Again, as I've explained before, when in most of my stories, I'm not like the star of anything here. You know what I mean? Nobody's like thinking, oh, this guy is so great. I'm just sort of helping facilitate something, usually behind the scenes. But I happen to be there, and at some point, like, she was walking around and she just like, I stood face to face and she looked at me and I looked at her, and I think maybe I told her who I was, and she made like a sour face and just walked away. So that's
Confirmed.
basically. So what'd you say?
Confirmed. Price is the guy that gets the strippers.
You know,
Brought the
that's funny.
entertainment.
It's
He's not
funny.
the star.
It's funny you should say that because there was once a high-end gentleman's establishment that did ask me for something like that, but I didn't. That wasn't my field of expertise. I see like a few hundred people just left. They're like,
Oh no, he
they're like,
doesn't have a he
we've
doesn't
had it
have a
with this guy.
he doesn't have a story about getting blown by Chelsea Handler.
That's
Don't
initially
have
where I
that
thought it
story.
was
Don't have that
going
story.
Oh
But
no. Well, time to move on then.
to.
yeah, but you know what? Her kind of like this kind of vibe that she's not very welcoming and kind of
Oh, I get
distant.
it.
She kind of seemed like that in real life, I guess. I mean, I don't know her. I don't have anything personal against her. I don't know her. But it's. I guess there was no reason. It's not like she had to take time to especially be nice to me. I think most of my stories are me in places where people generally weren't nice to me, but it's okay. I'm fine with that.
Hey, Pacino took his picture with you before it was cool.
Yes, I was the first person to have a selfie with Al Pacino. That is true. And yeah, I feel like the second we mentioned Chelsea Handler's party, like that was the end of us.
Everybody was like, ugh.
Exactly. Anyhow, so back to what it is that we were talking about. Professor.
Oh.
Yes.
So it's very coordinated, these celebrities. Did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
Oh, I mean, it's just it's so weird. Yeah, it doesn't it feel like they're all on a mailing list, right? They all get their email in the morning that says, "Here's your marching orders." Right? This is what you got to go out and talk about today. Just like you said earlier, like we've been getting all this social media stuff, and posts on different platforms from different politicians where they're all saying exactly the same thing. It's like, do you understand at all how weird that looks? Like, this doesn't look like, hey, we've got lots of great ideas. It looks like you're desperate. You have no idea what to talk about because you don't have any values of your own to actually back up anything you're saying. So the best you've got is, I'm just gonna say the same thing they said.
Can I offer another suggestion? Is that they are all desperate and they're all too old to know really how the internet works. So, uh, Trump hiring Elon, I think, is brilliant just based on like you used to see when what was the thing where they were? It was like a few years ago where they brought in Zuckerberg and were grilling him and like Jack Dorsey. Was it Jack Dorsey? The guy who used to own Twitter. They were grilling them about information they collect and stuff like that. But it's a bunch of like old senators that don't know jack about the internet or computers, and we're supposed to trust that they're going to get answers from these people. So now you have Elon in there and he's like, I'm bringing in 19-year-olds. We are finding out all of your crap. I'm like, that's amazing. That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like this, it seems like they still don't understand how they've lost this game, and it is technology, and it's the same technology they were trying to censor the internet with.
And did you see now there's a judge who's trying to force trying to force the government to put out the names of all the people who are working for Doge, even though right now there's people left and right trying to figure out who they are because they're getting nonstop death threats on the internet. But they're like, no, we got to get those. You got to put those names out there. You got to publish them. It's like, yeah, we know exactly what you're doing.
Nothing
You,
says innocence like death threats and
I,
mobs and coordinated crap.
I think that they're just genuinely really, really freaking out. These like,
Mhm,
all these he him shutting down that USAID, it must have
mhm.
been a really big deal. I think that from that moment, they've been really freaking out, and you can tell that they're really trying to organize and orchestrate a lot of things between the celebrities, between the people in Congress that are tweeting the same thing over and over again and all the same wording. There is a real coordinated, orchestrated effort here. But it's like what you said, Sean. It's like bringing Elon Musk, who brought a bunch of young 19-year-olds that everybody's laughing at. They're thinking at super speed, and they're like digging into all of these things and shutting down all this stuff. Meanwhile, these guys that like you said, they barely know how to even use social media. Some of these older ones, and they have all these kind of scripted things that they're talking about. Uh, they look like they're not keeping up.
Well,
Uh,
there's like a video going around. Like I'm in and out of the internet right now because I'm just working all the time, and like all I saw was like 12 like senator women, and they're like choose your fighter, and they all like jump in
yes.
that was
badly,
super cringe.
and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, and someone's comment was like the Democratic Party is going to destroy itself through cringe, and I was like, oh yeah. No, they,
They are becoming the cringe party. I wanted to show you a strange thing. I don't know if you saw this. So this guy, Raul M. Grijalva, he he was House of Representatives in Arizona, and
Yeah.
he passed away today. And after he passed away, apparently, this is strange. He tweeted this whole thing about President Trump after he
mm,
passed away. So what it looks like is that his people are just, posting stuff on his account, and they didn't notice that he had passed away, or they did, and they figured maybe they could still post as if he's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
And man, like the responses to this, like, you know, it's not funny because like I mean, obviously it's never good when somebody dies, but people are like, "This you?" and like they put his thing. I mean, this is just a ridiculous situation. The responses that people were writing here, that people don't just vote for Democrats; they also post from the grave, and then
it's like he had a dead man switch tweet or something. Like,
yeah, and then
if I
somebody
die,
writes, "Sir, with
send
all
it.
due respect, you are dead. There's no need to post on X from beyond the grave. Rest in peace." And somebody was they have X in the afterlife. I know this is just like a bizarre situation, but yeah, I mean, I guess his people kept posting it.
I mean,
It could
Starlink.
be that
Starlink.
somebody timed it. Maybe they just did timed tweets and they didn't know that he was going to pass away, and they didn't cancel the timed
Oh,
tweets.
probably.
But I
Mm.
suspect that he personally did not tweet that thing.
Oh no, it was definitely some part of his staff had like scheduled that or something. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, a Starlink must have really good service if they can tweet from the afterlife. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and this just shows you again how disconnected, even on a technological level. This is just embarrassing.
Yeah,
I mean, the guy died, and he's tweeting about Trump. It's like it's somehow it kind of, I don't know if to say if it cheapens his death, but it's sort of disrespectful even to the guy that was alive and passed away. I mean, he's obviously not tweeting this.
it's so
So
ridiculous. They seem so out of touch, and they continue to prove it every day.
I agree. Professor, I wanted to ask you. I mean, today I think Trump, didn't he say that he wanted to put tariffs on stuff from Europe? He wanted on all the alcohol from Europe because he said that they were putting tariffs on whiskey.
Yes, yes, they were talking about putting some retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods. Specifically, a lot of it had to do with things like aluminum and steel. But the
That shouldn't be in whiskey.
No, no. But then, yeah, there was a tariff that they were going to put on American whiskey, being imported into the EU. And he said, okay, well, if you're going to do that, we're going to put a 200% tariff on liquor from the EU, including like champagne from France and any number of other things. So that really pissed some people off.
I
The
mean,
thing is, what's funny is Trump doesn't care; he doesn't drink.
That's
I
true.
mean, the truth is that, I mean, maybe there's some people that are like wine connoisseurs, and it really matters to them where the wine is from and all that. But I think that there's enough supply here in the United States when it comes to alcohol. There's no shortage of alcohol that's here that we could drink here, in my opinion, as far as I know. So I
Or
think
make
that,
here. Yeah.
what'd you say?
Or make here. Yeah.
Right. I mean, there are certain things that I would tell you. Maybe it's a problem when you start with all these tariffs, but actually, when it comes to alcohol, I think people here would be okay. It's not like there wouldn't be alcohol, and it's not like there wouldn't be wine or whiskey or anything else. It's just like, yeah, okay, so there's the European brands, and some of them are good, but I think people could make do if they needed to.
Yeah. In a pinch.
I
It was,
know I
it
could.
was
I don't know how other people operate, but I know I could do it.
even in Prohibition, life found a way.
Yeah, but this isn't even a scenario like that. They just, listen, at some point when they got annoyed with like Bud Light, people just stopped drinking Bud Light. I've seen that when people, it's important enough to them, they're just like, okay, we won't drink this, we'll drink something else. That's why today, I think still Modelo is considered the number one beer in America because Bud
Yeah,
Light annoyed people, so Modelo became the number one beer.
Mm.
And to be fair, I actually, you won't believe this, but before the whole Bud Light situation, I actually preferred Modelo even then. I I actually quite like Modelo. I know that it's a simple beer, and like in Mexico, it's probably like water, but like it's like the equivalent of water or something. But there's something very kind of light and breezy about Modelo. I like it.
hey, you like what you like.
No judgments.
Absolutely. So I think that people, if they did that kind of boycott or whatever it was, I'm sure they could handle it. But what I'm saying is that I do see that the market, every time he starts with these tariffs and talking, and he's doing it with Mexico, then he's delaying it with Canada, he's delaying it. What do you make of all of this, Professor? Do you think that the market is gonna stabilize? Because every time he says something, there's like people get really panicky.
Yeah, it's definitely hurting the market. They're not sure what to do. Honestly, the thing the market really wants is stability. It wants to know what the rules are and how they're going to be able to make money. And when you have a lot of this stuff coming in that makes things unstable, makes things messy, then you don't know where things are going to go. So it is, yeah, it's frustrating to see him kind of hurting himself, hurting the economy in some ways with the tariffs. But on the other hand, these tariffs do have a very real purpose. We the tariffs are not there just because Trump wants to be a big boy and make more money off European goods. That's not what it is. Uh, it's about bringing manufacturing back to the US. It's about bringing jobs back to the US and making sure that we have a fair balance of trade between us and other countries. Uh, Other countries have huge tariffs on US goods. I've actually got a couple of different slides here I think I can share, um, or tweets I can share here, um, just as some examples. Um, let's see. So here's some cheese and dairy, EU tariffs on US 40%, US tariffs 25%. Wine, historically EU 25% on US products going in, and then in the US it's only been 14%. So there's been a trade imbalance here for quite some time. In fact, we were in a trade deficit with other countries around the world to the tune of nearly $1 billion. Or excuse me, I think it was nearly $1 trillion. So that incorrectly. Massive, massive offset in how much we were, getting from what we're selling out and what they're selling into the U.S. Another example here. We want to talk agricultural tariffs. Here's another example here. So the blue bar represents tariffs, U.S. tariffs on imports from the EU, and the green is European tariffs on goods coming from the U.S. into the EU. And you can see some of these just absolutely enormous tariffs. And what those do, again, the tariffs, they make goods coming from another country more expensive, which allows domestic goods to be more competitive, to keep, to have their prices lower. And so that means that all of these goods, all of this stuff that we were selling to the EU was considerably more costly than any of their local products. And that means that it was much less likely to be purchased by people over there. We were much less likely to sell products over there. And so it's this is all going to be negotiations. I think Trump is wanting to push, hard on these to try and actually get some of these countries to the table to actually start talking about these things. People say, "Well, you should have negotiated first." They don't want to negotiate. They they have been in a position of taking the US to the cleaners for a long time.
They love
They
it.
they're quite happy where they are right now. They don't want to negotiate. So, if you want that to happen, then you have to start taking some drastic actions. Eventually, these things will work themselves out. We are not going to keep 200% tariffs on wine and and champagne from France. That's not going to stay forever, right? It's going to push and say, look, we want to be trade partners with you, but we have to work something out so that your goods are not outpricing our goods in the United States, so that our domestic alternatives can be more successful, because that's really the goal in the end. We want the United States. That's what Trump has been focused on, is making the United States more sustainable on its own. And that doesn't mean that we want to never have trade, never want to do anything with any other business outside of the US, with any other country outside the US. It means that we want that trade to be fair. We want the goods that we can produce here to be attractive to businesses to buy here, rather than all of our companies shipping all of their manufacturing and everything into other countries and then selling it back to us at dirt cheap rates, because they're able to get, they're able to, have somebody put together an iPhone or create steel or whatever over in China with workers who get paid $3 a day, and then can sell it back here and put all of our industry here in the U.S. out of business. So it's there's going to be some growing pains. It's not, it's not going to be painless. There's going to be, a little bit of a little bit of a struggle to make some of this happen. But I think that he wants to make sure that we can kickstart this as quickly as possible. That he can move forward with his agenda as quickly as possible. He's not going to let, during his first term, where he had a lot of people telling him, "Oh, you should do it this way. You should work in the system, whatever." And he got screwed by those people.
Yeah, he
And
doesn't seem to care now. Now he's just doing whatever he
yeah,
wants.
and so now he's like,
A
you
good
know
end for
what?
that, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Trump has said, no, I'm not listening to those people anymore. I'm not listening to those voices that say, "Ooh, you've got to, work inside the bureaucracy and all this stuff." No, screw the bureaucracy. Throw them out on their ass. Let's move forward.
And all these
So,
people pitching fits just sound like petulant children that have been taking advantage of things for so long that now they're like, no, you can't take my thing away from me.
yep.
Like all of it, like even the Doge uncovering stuff, people, and then you guys are like, are all these things coordinated? And I'm like, yes, it
Yeah.
seems very obvious that it is. I try not to be a political guy, but all of it feels very coordinated.
Yep. Price, you've got a big gift over on YouTube.
Oh, what is it? What's the gift?
What are you in the
Big
kitchen?
Ship has gifted 20 Price of Reason Live memberships. Absolutely amazing, Big Ship. Thank you.
Wait, hold on one second. I think there's a few different gifts here. I should have looked sooner. Let's start off with there is the big ship. You know what? I know what to do. Let's highlight the gifts because there's a few gifts here. I'm gonna share the screen right now. So we're like in a movie within a movie, Sean. In any case, let's look here. What we have, Istophobos gave 5 Price of Reason live memberships. I don't know. Did we mention that?
Yeah, we
I'm
got
so
that one.
tired. I don't even know if
We
we
got that one
mentioned
earlier.
it or not. If we didn't, I'm sorry, Istophobos. Thank you so much for the 5 memberships. I really, really appreciate it. I feel like I said it, but in case I didn't notice, now I'm starting to think about it. I think I did notice it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In any case, nice again to say Estophobos is a friend of the channel, and I remember I said that as well, but we're always thankful. And the Big Ship, thank you so much. The Big Ship, 20 Price of Reason live memberships he gifted, and that's super nice. Really great to see you here, the Big Ship. Oh, it's always great to see you here, but we're so thankful for your gift. This is really cool, and it's a gift that hopefully will give other people a chance to be subscribers here. It's kind of fun to be subscribers. You have your special shield, and the longer you stay, like the shield changes colors and it becomes more prestigious over time. So we're really really grateful. Thank you both to Istophobos and to the Big Ship. The Big Ship, thank you so much for the 20 Price of Reason live memberships. And I guess my question to you about all this Trump stuff is that you think that at the end this is going to be okay? Because the only thing is that this is what I've been saying. I agree with what he's saying and doing in spirit. It's just when you see the market so jumpy, you just wonder if this thing is going to settle down, or is there going to be negative implications because of all of this.
There will be negative implication. I mean, it is going to, at least in the short term, have some implications on everything that's happening in the markets. It's inevitable, right? I mean, we're already seeing it, play out. And yes, there's going to be in some ways there's going to be some things that's going to hurt prices, in some products in the market, but I think that in the end it's going to work its way out. And again, that the whole point is, I think two things. One, we need to have fair trade between the countries. his goal is not for us to put massive, you know, all sorts of massive tariffs on stuff so we can make goods, more expensive. The goal is to bring some equity, some balance to the trade between these countries. And as I showed in that, earlier, there's some, agricultural goods and stuff where their tariffs were already massively higher than anything we had, right? And so in some ways it's just some right sizing, and then and in other ways it is a negotiation tactic. It does have the end goal, like I said, of trying to bring more manufacturing back into the United States. So all of those things are not going to happen overnight. Obviously, it's going to take time to rebuild infrastructure, to rebuild manufacturing here in the U.S. Some things are going to actually move much more quickly, though. Where there's things like domestic energy production that they're going to be able to ramp up much more quickly. Not that we can just do that overnight, but yeah, it's something that we can do, and it's really interesting. I don't know if you saw. For some reason, just thinking about energy, I don't know if you saw some of the stories about a bunch of the big tech companies are backing nuclear energy and talking about expanding nuclear energy here in the U.S. Significantly over the next few years, and that's excellent, because that we should have been working on nuclear energy. We should have been building nuclear plants for a decade now, at least. We have massive energy needs. Only you know the would have only increased, and it's, of course, the tech companies are really interested now because they're all building these gigantic data centers for all their AI models and stuff. And they're building out these massive data centers that take enormous amounts of energy to run their little AI assistants that they still can't get very many people to pay for. But they're building these huge data centers that take so much energy, and now they need to find some way to get that energy more cheaply than what they can do. And also they've realized that solar panels are not going to be able to power their enormous AI data centers. They're going to need something else. Wind turbines, not happening. Not going to make our not going to be enough to run our data centers. So what do we need? Okay, we need? Nuclear, right?
Right.
We need to have something that is compact. It's energy dense.
Is it safe today, the nuclear stuff? It's
It
safer
is
than it used to be.
extremely safe today.
Not like The Simpsons?
No, not like The Simpsons at all. In fact, a lot of people think that a lot of people, when they think about it, they're like, oh, well, we don't want like Fukushima to happen, right? We don't want that. No, we don't. We absolutely do not want that to happen. We don't want another 3 Mile Island, as minimal as that incident was. We don't want another, Pripyat, thing going on. We don't want Chernobyl, right? But the thing is, those were reactors. Even the one that was in Fukushima, those reactors were built on 50, 60-year-old technology, right? Honestly, the nuclear reactors have advanced considerably since then, and we're also there's multiple different companies working on even newer generations of reactors that are even more sustainable over a long term.
I just
And
don't want the Fukushima thing, because until
no,
now
no,
you can't even eat sushi until now. They always say, "Oh, this
no.
poisoned the fish."
Yep. No. Yeah. You really, honestly, genuinely, you don't have to worry about that. Many of these nuclear plants are. There's a number of different ways that you can do this. In fact, there's companies that are working on. Actually, they're essentially they're pre-built nuclear reactors. They like build them into these little basically cases, and they're sealed, So they build them, they turn them on, and then they just run until they run out. There's no maintenance or anything that has to happen. There's other ones. There's some new technology, thorium reactor technology, that is not quite there. But if we can get companies like, I mean, these companies that have billions of dollars that they have at their disposal to start pouring some of that money into research on things like thorium reactors, then we could potentially have newer nuclear technologies where there's almost no waste products that come out of those, that have to be stored. In fact, they some of these reactors can actually burn. They can actually use waste from other reactors in as far, to create their nuclear reactions. So uh, it's incredibly safe today. It's highly energy dense, and we really need to be exploring ways that we can meet all of our energy needs. And especially if you want to, if you're the guy who says, oh, we gotta electrify all our cars, everyone needs to drive electric cars. If everyone today drove electric cars,
Yeah, that would
90
be a problem. We couldn't all
90
drive electric.
well, first of all, you couldn't possibly charge all of them because we don't have enough grid capacity to do that. Everyone comes home at night and plugs in their cars, the grid's just going to collapse.
So I don't
But
understand how even I'm okay with Tesla and all the cars, but I really don't understand what'll happen if everybody shifts to electric vehicles. What are we going to do?
well, we're going to have to modernize our grid significantly. There's going to have to be a lot of work done to make sure that that grid can actually handle all of that electricity being transferred. It needs to be more robust. Generally, this is actually something that's a national security issue that needs to be addressed. It should have been addressed years ago. Our grid is not very
No,
robust
no,
in a
it's
lot of
old.
ways.
especially in
Eh,
California.
yes, and it's also it would also be very susceptible to attacks like an EMP, burst. If someone were to do some sort of EMP attack, our grid would not come back very easily. So it's not very robust, and it can't handle all of the throughput that would be needed to handle charging all of those electric vehicles at once. And we just don't have, even if we did that, if we said, okay, everybody gets an electric vehicle today, our grid is updated. If you look at all the ways that we generate power, uh 90% of those cars would be charging on fossil fuels. So we're taking cars, we say, oh, look, we got electric cars,
I see.
but
I want
it's being charged by burning coal or burning natural gas or something.
I wanted to
So
read this comment by Istophobos. He said,
sure.
"Price of Reason Live. Trump is A/B testing. You can't really understand what's happening without a sufficient explanation of this." I understand. I understand that basically Trump is just pressing a bunch of buttons, just, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and he's just it's like you said, they've been used to this setup for so long, and there's really not they're not in the mood for any kind of negotiation or anything like that. They're the ones that are benefiting from all these deals, all these people that he gets annoyed at, and he's just trying to ruffle everybody's feathers and bring to some kind of change and renegotiation. Because really, anything that he can renegotiate is better probably than the deals we have in place now. So even if he can get a bit of an improvement all across the board, it would already be significant. Between cutting spending and getting, better deals with different countries that, when it comes to trade, I'm sure that it could have a positive effect. But the only downside is that his sort of aggressive, like, just ruffling everybody's feathers at the same time, that's just like we were saying before, it does have impact on the market because of the uncertainty, and I genuinely hope that it's all going to sort of stabilize at some point and work out in the best possible way.
Just to toot my own horn, back in like
Sure.
1996, I think I was in sixth grade, and I overly, just in passing, because apparently that's how I take in the news. I heard that some news articles say that, or news reports say that they were shipping more jobs overseas. And even in sixth grade, I was like, that sounds like a terrible idea. So the fact that Trump is trying to bring all the jobs back, I'm like, Heck yeah, man! I'm all on board with that.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is good, and that's why there was one time that I said it, and people were like, "Oh, like you're criticizing." I'm not criticizing. I agree with the spirit of what he's trying to do. It is a very ruffle feathers type of way to try to achieve it, and I hope it'll work. I'm not saying that it can't work. I'm just saying that it's certainly like a ballsy, approach.
I think he's basically telling the entire world not to be graphic, but then he's cutting off the teeth. He is cutting
Yes,
off the source from so many people in so many different areas, and they're all losing their minds because they had such an easy go of it for so long.
absolutely.
Yeah, as mentioned earlier, someone in chat was talking about earlier that yeah, the USAID, when they disrupted that, they really ticked some people off because that's billions of dollars that was flooding into all kinds of special interests and NGOs and stuff that now just evaporated, and
Mhm.
they don't know what to do. Oh, what's going to happen? Where's all this money going to come from now? We had this great slush fund that we set up for all of this stuff, and now it's you don't have it. And so yeah, that's definitely made a lot of people on the left very nervous, very frustrated, because they've lost out on something they were really hoping to keep going on, and it hasn't just been USA idea. This kind of grift has been going on for decades, where they've set up these slush funds to be able to basically take public money, take your money out of from your pocket, you know, your dime, and give it off to any number of different special interests, specifically that support left wing ideologies. And now the gravy train is ended, and now a lot of them are really panicking.
Yeah, I understand that. And speaking of panicking, I don't know if you saw this, but this is a nice segue. Uh, this is in. Have you seen this? Uh, Disney has basically now become me. I kept saying that, like, at this point, they probably just want to get it over with. And now there's like sources that are like telling the Hollywood Reporter that Disney just want to get it over with. It's exactly what I was thinking. They've tried every maneuver they could. They've tried every idea they could think of, and nothing is working. They are not getting people excited about this movie, and there's nothing that they can do to change that.
Did
And
she did she
go
say
on, sorry.
something about the Palestine thing that got Gal Gadot mad? Because that's all I saw. There's like a flare up between the actresses, and now there's like drama, and I can't believe this movie is still coming out. I feel like it's been like a decade in the making at this
Uh,
point.
I'll tell you what. Here's what I think. I think that basically this movie was done for in any case, and
Hmm.
the person that mainly ruined it. There were two things that ruined it, or three things. Number one, Rachel Zegler. That's the if you when there's a sometimes when there's like a car accident, the insurance company decides what percentage of responsibility each party has. Rachel Zegler has a lot of responsibility. She comes off as arrogant and annoying. I don't know if she was given talking points, but in any interview that she had, she just came off as really snooty, annoying. Like she doesn't like the source material. That she's all happy that it's like all feminist and whatever. And she was being really, really irritating and obnoxious about it. There's nothing you could do. There's certain things about people that they have a certain energy and vibe, and if other people feel that, even through a screen, even through the internet, that's not good. And Rachel Zegler has this kind of snooty, obnoxious attitude. It's really difficult to repair that. It's not only regarding Snow White. She just genuinely does not come off as unlikable. She's what I guess Tom always calls her, like a theater kid. That's exactly what she is. She grew up a theater kid, and in spite of the whole kind of trying to present it as though she's a Latina from modest backgrounds, her father, first of all, she's not, she's only half Latina, and the other thing is that her family has money, and she's been, this isn't a situation. Recently they tried to do an article with like Mexico, with Vogue Mexico or something, and or Vogue Latin America or whatever it is, and they were trying to present her as this kind of immigrant. And man, this girl does not come off as an immigrant. I don't know what spiel. I don't know what they were trying to go for. It wasn't working at all. They tried a whole article to try to cater to Latin America. I feel like that article did not work. And I think that this kind of thing that they're peddling here doesn't work either. So now what they did was they tried something else. They tried sending her to Spain. Did you see this? So she went to Spain because they're not doing any screenings and they're not doing any interviews or anything. They
Yeah.
sent her to Spain to do like at some castle to sing a song from Snow White. It is the most controlled environment that you've ever seen. But they basically brought like about 10 kids that I think were sick. Maybe they're like kind of those Make-A-Wish or whatever it is. They brought some
man,
sick,
they tortured a bunch of sick kids.
They brought sick kids there, and they filmed like the whole photo opportunity. She sings the song, and then the little kids, she comes to talk to them. Even when she does that, she somehow comes off as inauthentic. And the thing is, I don't know what level of Spanish she has, but they really made a point that she like tried speaking with a few of them in Spanish. That's the reason why they were trying to go for Mexico and then for Spain. They're hoping that if nothing else, Latin America, Latino community, people that speak Spanish, anybody, anybody that may speak Spanish that'll feel any kind of kinship to her, they're trying to go that route. And the thing is, I can only I can't speak for for people I don't know, but I know people that I know that are like Latino or Latinas. They basically said she doesn't represent me. I don't see her as a representative of me. It's like they're really trying to peddle this narrative that she's a representative now of the Latino community.
No,
Let me see if I can.
she's always been an idiot, snot-nosed kid that thinks that she knows better than everyone else.
Right. So
But
let me
she
see if I.
is. She does know better. She's better than all of us.
I was in West Side Story.
Yeah, that didn't flop.
That was so terrible.
I'm trying to see if I can find this thing with the kids. Somehow, oh here, I think this is it. Okay, are you ready?
I don't know. I feel bad for the kids.
I mean, it's a good photo op, I guess. Let me.
But really, like Professor Artu's saying, like they made sick kids suffer. Like that's all I'm gonna think.
So they brought the sick kids, and I guess now she's hugging them. Let me look at this. This was trying to make her seem like relatable. She's nice to kids. She's whatever. I mean, I give credit that whoever thought of this isn't necessarily a bad idea. It's just like at this point, I don't think there's anything she can do to repair her image. I don't think anybody sees this and thinks, oh, you know what? I had it all wrong about her. She's actually great. She's annoyed so many people that there's sometimes it's really difficult to clean up this kind of mess. So this is her with the kids. Can you see it?
Yeah.
See, this was, I guess, a sick kid or something. I don't know. Some of them were sick. I have no idea.
She might come around cleaning.
I don't know if they have masks on or they're sick. I thought one of them seemed sick, but this is like the most controlled environment ever. Like out of the whole world, they just brought her here. She's saying hi to kids. She's not asking.
It sounds like there's like 10 people.
And then she's
Not
trying to
even-
speak in Spanish.
Not even dressed like Snow White.
Me gusta tu chaqueta. I like your jacket. It's very beautiful. I like your jacket too. Are you warm? Are you cold? I know. It's cold outside. Hi, baby. Nice to meet you.
Who are you?
Nice to meet you guys. Thank you all so much for coming. I like your nails.
Please like me.
Are you AOC?
Shall we do it again? Yeah.
Where's Selena Gomez?
Amazing. Thank you, babe. So is yours.
You got a rumble thingy that looks impressive.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
holy cow.
Okay, so Wow.
Exactly.
I don't know what to say. I'm trying to highlight it. How do I do this? Whew. Uh, if I stop the presentation,
Is it not letting you highlight it?
it is not letting me. Can you highlight it, Professor?
No, I don't have privileges to highlight stuff.
Okay. Let's see.
I can't even turn into an avatar.
You know, let's do this. Let's stop sharing first, and then see if I can click on it. I'm only afraid that if I...
Oh, here's what I'll do.
We could screenshot it.
Here's what I'll do. I'm just gonna share. Where'd it go?
Oh yeah, we can share it. We can do it like we did the other thing. I know
There you
what to do. Wow. One Dirty Bird has given $300. And he says, just wanted to let you know, this old fart still has a little gas. Man, One Dirty Bird, I honestly don't know what to say. This is the kindest gift. I think that this is probably the kindest gift that I've received online, at least in one time, in this way. And this is just so nice of you. I wish you would have written more. You can write like a book. I'll read your whole book. If you have gas, you could just, you don't have to do another super chat, just another Rumble rant. You could just type whatever you want. I can just, talk about it. This is just awesome. This is so nice of you.
Incredibly generous, One Dirty Bird. Thank you very much.
Yes, it is. I'm so stunned that I don't really quite know what to say, and I think we need to see it more, Professor. Let's keep it more in the background. Let's. Professor, are you there?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Could we share it again?
Oh yeah. Share it one more time.
Yeah, let's leave it in the background just as we talk. Like I just.
Sure, we can do that. Hold on. Where'd it go? Rumble. Oh, it moved to the top of my list. That's why I can't find it. Hold on.
It's okay. That's so awesome. That's so awesome. Again, you're welcome to write more stuff. I understand that you have more gas. I understand. I don't know why you're referring to yourself as an old fart. I feel like we're probably all, in the same age group pretty much.
Hey, after the 200% tariffs, you'll still be able to afford that one bottle of champagne. So, that's a good thing.
Yeah. This really shocked me. I wasn't expecting it. Like when I was looking at that Rachel Zegler thing and you're like, oh, there's something big here. Like I didn't think it wouldn't be big, but this is really, I'm still trying to process this. One Dirty Bird, is there anything you want us to do or talk about? A lot of times if you give, that kind of Rumble rant,
he's like, dance, good man,
right?
Dance.
We'll dance, we'll sing. If there's a topic that interests you, something, we're here. Definitely let us know. Yeah. Whew. So
Cool.
I guess what were we even talking about? We were talking about Rachel Zegler, correct? So they did that whole opportunity and they tried to make it look like she's friendly with the kids. And I don't know if you noticed, but what happened is that she was trying to speak with them in Spanish. It seemed really awkward. I'm not saying maybe she speaks some Spanish, but man, that whole situation, they're really trying to push this idea that she's the Latino representative. I'm telling you.
Istafobos keep saying she doesn't speak Spanish.
I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't speak it or she didn't speak it well. I'll give credit. Maybe she bothered to learn some. I don't know. I don't want to say that. I don't know for sure if she knows it or if she doesn't know it. But they are trying to cash in hard on that. They did the Vogue Mexico that annoying article, which was completely engineered by PR people. Most of the stuff, at least some of the stuff, I don't think she said or people told her what to say in some cases. And they were really trying to paint a picture there of the Latino representative. It's no coincidence that they took her to Spain. It's no coincidence that she sees kids and she talks to them a bit in Spanish. Notice also kids. If she doesn't have the best Spanish, she can speak to kids. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
if I like now was in Spain and I saw a kid, that would probably be the only person that I could speak with. I would say like, "¿Cómo estás, hijo?" You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like there's probably like a few things you could say to a kid, but like if some adult wanted to have like a very detailed conversation with her, I don't know how great she would speak.
Me amo Artu.
Estoy muy feliz. That's what I'd tell them.
Feliz Navidad.
Uh,
Yeah, no, I mean, I could hear some Spanish in there. I mean, I don't know how fluent she is. I mean,
it sounded
Yeah.
all right. I mean, I'm not claiming that I'm Mr. like no Spanish, but I know enough that she was like, oh, tu chaqueta bonita or whatever it is. Like your jacket is pretty. Like she started saying it in English and then she shifted something to English. I think she was saying something like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what she said. And it makes
Yeah.
sense. Like I basically, I guess what I'm saying is on the level that she spoke to these kids, I could speak the same level. Now,
Yeah, she's not
I'm-
fluent.
no, and maybe she is, but I'm just judging. I can only say this. Maybe she's super fluent. Judging by what I saw in this video, I can recreate whatever she did. In fact, I could speak more than her to these kids in Spanish. And I don't even know Spanish. Jimmy Nature says, yes, that's what she said. Exactly, the thing. The chaqueta bonita or whatever it is. And it's fine. It's fine that she said that. And yeah, I just think that they're really trying to build her up here. There was also some song that she sang. Let's see if I can find it. And after this, they also made the children listen to the song, I guess. I mean, the thing is, I think she does know how to sing. It's just that,
Yeah, I don't even know how to classify her singing.
help you in a second, but let's listen to it.
I'm waiting on a wish beneath 1,000 treetops, and as the silver sky stops, I long to leave the walls behind me. Waiting on a wish, holding out for someday, hoping somehow, some way, there comes a miracle to find me. I close my eyes and see the girl I meant to be. She a part of me I've had to hide. Wondering, will she, or will I spend another year waiting on a wish?
Yeah, that's the original. That's the new song that they added to that replaced. What was the other song? The one where she's.
Yeah,
waiting
there
for-
were two
Someday
songs.
Someday my prince will come. It's
Yeah.
basically the song that replaced that.
There were
Yeah.
two songs that they removed, and they shoved this one instead of the
Yeah.
other one. And the other ones were basically she's waiting for a prince and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. They didn't want any of that. Yeah, so the two songs that were not considered like feminist enough, they deleted them, and then they added this song as a replacement for the other two. But what I'll say is, beyond the words and all that stuff, she technically can hit the notes and she can sing. She's not the worst singer ever. But here's what I'll say: when it comes to being a singer, there's two things that I think a good singer needs. On one hand, you want good vocal capability. I won't take that away from her. Her vocal capabilities are fine. She can sing. There's a reason. The only reason why we even know of her today is because Spielberg needed somebody, that could sing, and she could do it. And she was doing theater, local theater, whatever it was. I don't even know what she was doing, but it was good enough for him. And she needed somebody that would sing, and she fit the bill. So I'm not going to take that away from her. She can sing. But here's the thing: there's also something that, in addition to hitting the notes, the vibe of the person is also important. In terms of, there's certain singers that even if they don't have the best voice, just their whole vibe is something that appeals to you. It doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily mean that they're a good person or a bad person, but there's some kind of character or energy that they're transferring,
Exactly.
that you
Exactly.
feel that thing and you connect with it.
There's
You
an
know,
emotional content behind what they're singing, behind the tones that they're using, and how they deliver what they're singing. It's not just that they're hitting the notes. There's more to it than that. And yes, I think technically, yes, she can sing. She can hit all the notes. She has a fairly powerful delivery, seems to anyway. It's a very Broadway type of delivery. But I don't feel that emotion. I don't feel that character behind her voice. That is what you get with the best singers, with the people who can really just get out there and move an audience with their performance. She does not have that.
like if I'm thinking of female singers and I'm trying to think of a female that I would hear her voice and it really, I do feel that connection. Whitney Houston, golden voice. With every like thing that she sings, you feel that energy. So some singers are like that. I feel that way when even until today, if somebody puts on something by Whitney Houston, I can say that about somebody like Ella Fitzgerald. There
Adele
are
Dazeem.
Adele Dazeem. You know what? Adina Menzel I think, is more talented than Rachel Zegler. Meaning, I think that when I watched Wicked, for example, I suffered through that movie. There was a part where in the middle of the movie they brought Kristen Chenoweth, whatever her name is, and Adina Menzel, and they're the original OG cast members from that play. And they come out and they do a number. That is probably the best performance that I saw in that whole movie. In my opinion, the second I saw those two ladies come out and like do their singing and their performance, you kind of feel that there's some additional elements in their voice that I didn't feel from like Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande.
Yeah. I mean, just a few. Billie Holiday,
Sure.
incredible performer. Just you can feel every note that she's singing. Some other Shirley Bassey, amazing.
Did
Tina
you
Turner.
Mm.
Uh,
Nina Simone?
yeah,
So favorite.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Honestly, yeah. You said Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston, I don't know why there's sort of a sadness or something in her voice.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example from men. Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye, like he can hit every note, but beyond hitting every note, there's something in his voice that has like real soul. And I think with Rachel Zegler, it doesn't have that. Now, I gave you, some list of people that may be like fantastic singers. There are singers that I'll say that, maybe John Lennon doesn't have the voice of a Whitney Houston or a Marvin Gaye. He does have the character. You know what I mean? There are singers that maybe even had just okay voices. When you look at stuff like grunge, Lane Staley has a voice. I love Lane Staley's voice from Alice in Chains. It is an acquired taste. It's not for everybody. But one of the things that I like about it is that you feel his energy in every note that this guy sings. Singers like Scott Weiland. I would say Eddie Vedder, but Eddie Vedder, that was only true maybe in the first album, like Pearl Jam 10. Something not good happened with him. But there's a lot of singers that bring some kind of character and something personal to the mix, and that's the thing that draws you in. Rachel Zegler is not like that. She is very much just kind of almost like when you watch those kind of American Idol, and you see a contestant that can hit the notes but doesn't do anything really else for you. That's what I feel like she is. Let's put it this way. Have you ever played FIFA on PlayStation?
Yeah.
So you know how every player or any kind of sports or any game, every player has like speed, he has like, passing skills and things like that. So you see one that has speed like 10 and then the passing skills are like maybe a 5. You know what I mean? So with Rachel Zegler, I feel like her vocal capabilities are probably like an 8 or a 9, but her character that she brings to the table, that kind of authenticity, that thing that draws you in, that's like a 2 or a 3.
I was hoping you'd say it too.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the truth. That's how I feel. That like
Hmm.
she's missing that additional element, and it's really difficult to hide it. I do think that if she didn't have a career in movies and she just went to Broadway, they kind of sometimes are more welcoming to that kind of snootiness and just sing the notes and do whatever you're asked. I mean, personally, I prefer, even if I saw a Broadway show, I prefer to see like an Adina Menzel over, a Rachel Zegler. But I'm saying that she could have found her place in some place like that. And maybe in this movie, maybe she'll sing the songs okay. But man, I don't know. She's really annoying. And it's no coincidence. I mean, at this point, the reason why they did this, A, it's in Spain. So they speak Spanish and she's a Latina something. They're trying to sell them this idea that she's like, she'll be welcomed here if she speaks Spanish or something. And the other thing is that they basically they said if she knows how to sing, instead of interviews, just let her sing. Bring her in front of a castle, let her sing a song, let her talk to a few kids, maybe they're sick, maybe they aren't, and then just hide her and don't let her talk to anybody. That's their plan. That's Disney's plan. We can't let her talk to anybody. Give her a microphone, let her sing. She says hi to a kid, and that's it. Nobody ever sees her again until the premiere.
Yeah.
And and when it comes to like the media, they've been really trying to push this idea. Let me go back to this article if I can find it. Share this tab instead. So they need to get this over with. Uh, it seemed like a can't miss project 5 years ago, but some PR missteps combined with anti woke outrage turned marketing the film into a poisoned apple. I mean, I don't know. You could say it's anti-woke outrage, but I think it was a perfect storm of a lot of different things. And I think that these days also a lot of these publications have been trying to rewrite the narrative as though this is the fault of her and Gal Gadot, because Gal Gadot supports Israel and she likes the Palestinians. But for me, I don't think that's the same thing for for a few reasons. Gal Gadot she never attacked moviegoers. She never lashed out at people that voted a certain way or did something. All she said was that she comes from this place and she supports her country. That's generally what she's been saying. And as somebody from that country, I think that that would make sense that that's what she would say. You could say, well, maybe she didn't have to say it before the movie premiere. You know what? After Rachel Zegler freely has babbled as much as she wanted on any topics and tweeted what she wanted and acted the way she wanted, and been very kind of disrespectful and rude, I think that at this point Gal Gadot just simply doesn't care. But this if you put fault on people, this is not Gal Gadot's fault. I don't think that the movie is in trouble because of her.
Not even close. No. It's absolutely it's a joke. This whole thing about, "Oh, this controversy brought by both of these actors." No. I'm sorry, no. Gal Gadot has not been the one that has brought controversy on this film. It's such a thing, like trying to make this very strange false equivalence between these two. It's just
Yeah, the
bizarre.
studio isn't allowing, according to this article, regular red carpet press to attend in order to prevent Zegler and Gal Gadot, who plays the evil queen, from answering questions on the spot. I really think that the more concern should be Zegler. I've never seen Gal Gadot really piss off people in the press. They're referring to the fact that there was some kind of convention and she spoke and she said that she was, Jewish and from Israel and supports them. I don't think that that is the same level of what was going on with Zegler, and I think that Gal Gadot seems professional until now. And if somebody just stood there and asked her questions about the movie, I'm sure she would just answer it. Uh, I think that Zegler is the much bigger headache here, but the press is really trying to create an equal situation, which I think is nonsense. And now they're like, Snow White isn't the first major film to manage a red carpet in such a restricted way. Warner Brothers did much of the same for Ezra Miller, but Miller had been accused of several criminal acts, whereas Ziegler has simply generated social media blowback for comments, including criticizing the original film, supporting Palestine, and slamming Donald Trump. I mean, this is probably the most honest I've seen the Hollywood Reporter ever, because at least they acknowledge this stuff. But yeah, but then they go on. Gadot, meanwhile, is a divisive figure on social media due to the Israeli actress speaking out in support of her native country since October 7th, terror attack. I mean, is it really? Are we really putting them in the same category? Like, I think that this is two very, very different things. Not only that, I think that like Gal Gadot has not been so vocal. It's only maybe last week that she did it, and I think that if I had to guess, maybe she's had it. Maybe like between all this crap, I don't know. It was after that whole Oscars thing. I think she just figured, I don't want to say a bad word, Sean, but F it.
I'll be right back. I really have to use the restroom. I'm sorry. I was gonna like just turn off my camera, but I was worried.
Hi,
No, it's
Bray.
okay.
left
It's okay.
forever.
You can run to the restroom, and we'll look at your library in the meantime.
Just
Oh,
take
yeah.
your microphone with you.
Okay, here we
Take your
go.
mic. You can do a Frank Drebin like in The Naked Gun.
Yeah.
My wife hates that scene so much.
We recently watched that with my son, and he was rolling on the floor laughing. He could not.
Guys,
Like,
get up.
he had just never seen that before, never seen that joke done before, and he thought it was absolutely hilarious.
Leslie Nielsen was a treasure. I'll be
Oh,
right
he's
back.
amazing. He is amazing.
Yes, that is actually one of the best comedies I've ever seen. Is The
Oh,
Naked Gun.
absolutely, no
N-
question. It's one of the best comedies ever made. It's so good.
Naked Gun 1, yeah. I mean, the
Yeah.
way I know it is also maybe like a year ago, I sat with some family and we watched it. It was some family, like, holiday. I don't know what. We put it on in the background and we watched it and we were all laughing, like really laughing. It was genuinely, and I've seen this movie before and I think everybody has. We just probably all haven't seen it in a minute, and we put it on. We were all laughing. Like Leslie Nielsen was just brilliant. I mean, everything about that movie was brilliant, but Leslie Nielsen just hits it out of the park. One of the best comedic performances of all time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing. It's so well done. And it's really funny too. Have you ever seen any older movies with Leslie Nielsen playing more serious parts?
I've seen stuff that he played in more serious things. He even would be on guest like TV, like on shows and
Yeah,
things like
he
that.
would do
like
a lot of guest spots on television as
a
more
lot of
more
it.
serious.
He was working nonstop, and yes, you
Yeah.
come in and he's like totally serious, and you're waiting for the joke to happen, and he's just super serious, and you're like, man, they didn't know how to use, like they had no Leslie Nielsen, and they didn't know what to do with
Yes.
him.
And it made him the perfect straight man for doing those doing those comedies. Is great. Starting really with Airplane, and then really stretching out from there. But yeah,
The
Leslie
re-
Nielsen was like you said, is a treasure, just
I'm,
amazing.
the
So good.
reason why it worked is, I mean, first of all, that first movie Airplane, the reason that they made the movie is because one day I think that they wanted to record commercials in the middle of the night. They would have like a VHS that records stuff in the middle of the night. And if I remember correctly, they accidentally recorded a movie. I think it was called Airport or something like that from many years earlier. Now, the movie basically has the same beat for beat plot as Airplane, but
Yo,
the
yes.
thing,
Yeah,
so
there's a movie. The movie is called 0 Hour.
0 hours. So they
Yeah.
basically accidentally recorded it, and in order to, because they were worried that like it's a parody, but somebody will complain, they actually went and bought the rights
They did.
to do a remake for that, and it was so obscure and nobody cared about it. They just like got the rights and nobody was even thinking
Yeah,
about it.
it hardly cost them a dime. But yeah, if you watch fully through the credits, you will see, yes, that it is credited in the film, and the writer of 0 Hour is credited in there because they use so much of the plot that it's the exact same movie, just done funny, done with all sorts of
Right,
silly
but
stuff mixed in.
what they're really brilliant, and what I think the movie brought to the table that was something a bit different, is how serious some of the people were playing their roles. And that's when they kind of stumbled onto Leslie Nielsen. The idea was they're not bringing a bunch of comedians. They want really serious actors to be like acting in the movie. You think that that's very obvious, but at that moment in time, that was a very novel idea. And that's why they wanted somebody like Leslie Nielsen. And the second they saw him, like Don't Call Me Shirley, and they saw all of his stuff on Airplane, they already were thinking, what else can we do with this guy? And that's how we got those other things. First the series, Police Squad, and then The Naked Gun. Some people always tell me they're like, oh, we like the series even better than the movie. Personally, I've watched the series, I like it, but Naked Gun 1, that's for me, like that is the best Out of everything that was done with Police Squad and Naked Gun 1 is the best for me.
Especially with the baseball game and the umpiring, because
Oh
me
man.
and my brother played baseball, and it was just like a family thing. Some of the most funny stuff that we still quote today, and like especially like when they throw the ball and everybody's waiting, like he throws the pitch and everybody's like waiting, and he's like strike. Just
Yeah.
so much
Yeah.
funny stuff in that movie.
And he gets more and more animated with his
Yes.
thing. Yeah.
Is everything okay with this Phobos? I don't understand what people are talking about. Sometimes in the chat I lose them. I don't know what they're talking about. But in any case, yeah, the thing that's like really I remember until this day, that until this day makes me laugh, is that when he comes out and then somebody says, "Hey everybody, it's Enrico Palazzo." That is just like comedy gold. I don't know why. Like the fact and they're all like cheering Enrico Palazzo, Enrico Palazzo. It's
He
just such
saved
a
the queen.
it's so funny. It's so funny.
Brilliant.
Do you ever see
So
the interviews with him where he's like discussing, what was it? He's like, I had some device that I had on a movie and I just carry it with me now. And it's just this like thing that's like a fart noise. And he
yeah,
just like cues it up like like right in the middle of a conversation. Still so funny. I wish he was still around.
yeah, he really. I mean, apparently the guy loved comedy and humor, and nobody knew that until they put him in that movie. Meaning, like to him, that was the best thing that ever happened to him, and you would have
Mm.
never known because they always wanted him to play the serious guy. Just such a bizarre story. But
Well,
back to this article. So now they're saying that it's not getting in UK premiere either. Instead, she'll perform. Oh, okay. So this is the thing that we saw. She'll perform the in front of the castle of Segovia, Spain. That inspired the castle in Walt Disney's original Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So that was the Spain thing. And like I told you, the PR people that said that she's a PR nightmare. We can't let her talk. She can sing. That's the only thing she could do. Just let her sing. That was also her role in that Hunger Games movie that she was in. They also let her sing every 2 minutes, even though it's not a musical. I feel like anytime she talks and you see her, she's annoying, and somehow when she sings, you somehow let it slide. So they just said, well, that's the least annoying thing she does. Let her let her just sing. Even before the LA premiere shows, however, there was a sense that Disney was being a bit bashful about Snow White. One theater owner and a rival studio source says Disney's massive marketing machine has been uncharacteristically quiet until quite recently, noting advance ticket sales didn't commence until Monday, less than 2 weeks before the film's release. Many of the studios, blah, 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 blah. The bottom line is, okay, here, they've been going through the motions on Snow White, all but saying, we need to get this thing over with. We have zero faith in this thing, and it couldn't come at a worse point when the industry is trying to limp along to May. So, yeah, I think that they all know that this thing is like a stinker, and they're just trying their best to somehow go through the motions. They can't make it seem like they're hiding it, but I think Tom said to me that like he thought that they should have just released it on Disney Plus, and I agree.
Absolutely, they should
That
have.
that would have been their best bet. They should have released this on Disney Plus.
But they
Because
are desperate to get money back on this, and I think they probably. My guess is, they probably had some deals. I mean, remember what happened with Scarlett Johansson, right? There were some deals there where people were supposed to get paid on the back end for the theatrical release, and I guarantee you there is something that tied their hands. They had to do a theatrical release of this. Otherwise, they would have just slapped this on Disney Plus and walked away, because they know. You can tell from the way they've been pulling her out of all of the different premiere events and all this stuff. They can tell this is going to be a disaster.
I'm not even convinced that it's coming out. I see posters everywhere, but I'm like, no, I don't believe it.
Yeah, and the thing is that we've all been saying this for a long time. So this just shows you how stupid are some of the people in Hollywood running these studios or making these big decisions. This movie must have cost until now hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars with all the reshoots and the delays and all the stuff. And what are they getting out of it? Nothing. They're not going to get anything out of it. They're going to get egg on their face. And it's going to be so symbolic because this was supposed to be the movie that they're celebrating. Snow White was an important part of Disney history. It was their first animated movie, correct?
Yes. And he basically bet the studio on it. He's like, if this fails, we're done.
Right. So this was their big thing, and recreating it, releasing it now. I think initially they wanted to release it for the 100 years of Disney, but they weren't able to do it or whatever it is. But in any case, this was meant to be some big celebration of Disney and their 100 years or whatever it is. And instead, it turned into the biggest nightmare. And it's very symbolic that the thing that put the studio on the map, the thing that made Disney what it was, is also now their biggest embarrassment. And maybe one of their biggest embarrassments to date.
Yep.
I agree, Tim Hayes. People and Mary White said marketing. Yeah, I'm sure the marketing here was very expensive. One Dirty Bird says wagon train. I don't know what that means. Wagon train?
Star Trek?
I am trying to figure out. One Dirty Bird is a very mysterious person. I'll say that. That is one
mysterious Price's mysterious benefactor.
Man, that was so nice. I'm
Yes,
still
it really was.
I'm still really, personally, humbled and really thankful for that.
We do have a super chat over on YouTube.
Oh, okay. The Dead Man. Let me share this. Can you see it?
Yes.
So the Dead Man for $2. Okay, let me see for a second. I have to. Koalas bajo la lluvia no hay mierda.
Koalas in the rain. Nope. Given.
I understood the koalas part. I'm trying to think. I do know a bit of Spanish.
It's more like there's no poo. Is more what it says there, but yeah.
Koalas low. Is that what isn't bajo like low? Because there's like alto and bajo, so isn't like koala a short koala?
Mary White says lo siento, Sean.
Wagon Train was a show from the 50s. That's when somebody's saying, I'm trying to think. I have to figure this out. Okay, koalas. I'm struggling here. Koalas short. La Luvia. I don't know. Hey, mierda. Well, Sean, any ideas?
I'm going to Google Translate.
What does it say?
Give me a second. I gotta make your window bigger.
I put the AI translation in there for you. That's what I said it was.
Oh, what does it say?
So it says koalas in the rain. There's no shit. No.
Koalas in the rain. That's what it is. But isn't bajo?
Yeah, it's under. I think it's saying under. So it's saying that the rain is coming down onto the koala. The koala is under the rain.
I see.
So yeah.
Well, that's good to know. Thank you, the Dead Man.
Again, I am not fluent in Spanish, but I've just picked up a ton of it over the years from various different things, and it's one of those things like you said, I know a word here or there. I could say, if I see it, like I can kind of work it out.
I can speak some, but like I said, my level is like a 5-year-old child. Like I could have spoken to those children as well as Rachel Zegler did, but unfortunately, this was I guess not as clear to me.
All I got was koalas in the rain. There is no shit.
Yes.
Sorry, Sean.
Yes. You're saying, that when you're not here, people say that?
I love it. And I especially love it when I say it. You need stickers, man, for your channel.
Don't I
Sorry.
have stickers?
Well, that just say sorry, Sean.
Oh, I need a sorry, Sean.
It's not even me that started this. I thought it was Dread Roberts, and then even before that, I was talking to Tim Hayes in the chat. And what just happened? Did I lose you? Am I the only one? What happened?
I'm back, Sean. There's Price. Okay. Yeah.
I'm the captain now. What the hell?
I'm the captain now. No, that's no. Yeah, the Rumble Studio just decided we had been on long enough, and
Oh, that means usually when you guys start having problems, that's eventually when I get kicked. And I
yeah,
have
your
to
your
restart
your your
everything.
time is coming, Sean. You're There's a
Nice.
thing that seems to happen at like just before the 2-hour mark.
Yeah,
like
man.
most nights, for some reason, there's a timer or something that decides we've been here long enough, and it
Yeah.
decides to boot
You're
us
having
out.
too much fun. No, it was like Dread Roberts hated the cursing, and Tim Hayes was saying it was what's her name, your first co-host, like even
Rex
before that.
Electronica.
Yeah, and she was like apologizing to her husband or something, but somehow it just settled on sorry, Sean.
No, I think that what happened was like Dread Roberts. He's more, he has his more religious,
Sure.
beliefs, and I totally respect that. So he usually doesn't use bad language. I don't even think I ever heard him use bad language. So I would feel bad sometimes because I'd be suddenly using bad words, and then I'd remember that he's here, and I'd apologize to him. And then to make things worse, I guess I would bring Vex Electronica from time to time. And if I, from time to time, say like a naughty word, Vex Electronica from time to time says a not naughty word. And then there would be a lot of just sorry, Dread, and then I don't know what I don't know what happened, but I guess like he had stuff with his family. He had a lot of stuff going on with his family. Kind of took a step back from social media in general, which I totally respect. And I guess people kind of, I don't know how this happened, but you became like, you inherited the idea that when people curse they apologize. You became the person they apologize to. I don't
There
even know
was
why.
there was a moment though where we were like passing it off on
Oh
each
yeah,
other,
yeah.
and then it all settled on me, and I was like, I guess I'm fine with
Well,
this. It
yeah, you
makes me
weren't,
laugh.
because you weren't here, so we could just apologize to you
Right,
because you weren't
right.
around.
So it started becoming
Well,
a
that was
situation.
it was like right before I was working all the time, and
Yeah.
then finally I was just like, whatever, it's hilarious. And even if I say it, it's like that just sounds stupid and funny.
Why does
Like
Dude Bro
little
Seth
running
say
gag.
not back? I'm here.
Oh
Oh,
no,
there he is.
he's that was when you
Uh,
we both dropped out at almost the exact same time, and Sean was just sitting there by himself.
well, I thought my connection went to
Yeah.
crap because
Oh,
that
yeah, it's hard.
usually
You never
happens.
know, right?
Yeah. I'm like, I'm in the middle of a sentence and now I'm looking at myself.
Absolutely. And yeah, we were talking about this whole Snow White thing. So it's just a disaster for them. They don't listen to real people that could have them. There's so many stupid movies that Disney have made over the past like 5 years. They could have just saved billions of dollars.
Oh,
It's
I think I said in our chat earlier today, I have more respect for the direct-to-video sequels than I do for these remakes now.
Oh yeah, they're appalling. Although
absolutely.
I will say, have you seen the trailer for the Lilo and Stitch live action remake?
I
No, because
have.
I can't. I'm sorry. This is one of those things where I was like, I really love Lilo and Stitch. I will watch it until they run it into the ground. They ran it into the ground a long time ago.
Mhm.
And I'm like, just watch the animated movie. Why do we have to remake this? Sorry. I can't
One
really
Dirty
like
Bird
think
says
about it.
Nielsen. I guess he's talking about Leslie Nielsen was on a few episodes of Wagon Train. Clint almost
Yeah.
socked him. Oh, okay. Didn't know any of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's really weird to watch Leslie Nielsen when I watch Creepshow and he's supposed to be an evil guy burying Ted Danson in the sand. And I'm like, that's still just Leslie Nielsen.
You're waiting for the joke. You're waiting for the
Yeah.
punchline.
I am. Exactly.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I do like the Lilo and Stitch, the animated film. I think it's one of the last really fun animated films that Disney made. And it's a pretty good film just in itself. It's got good values. It's got good voice acting. It's an enjoyable film, and I'll
So
be
why do
honest.
you have to remake it?
Well, you don't. You really don't.
Like shot for shot, it feels like
Yeah,
that
but
Gus Van Sant Psycho remake
yeah.
where they get out of the car on the other side like they did in the original, and I'm like, why don't we just watch the original?
Oh yeah, I know. No, I agree, but I mean, just giving credit where credit is due. The trailer for the live action version looks really good. It's way better than any of the more recent live action, especially
You can show it
the
if you
Snow
want,
White one.
Professor. If you have it, you're like
I'd be afraid we'd get
I
copyrighted for
I
showing that.
didn't even make the movie, and I feel highly insulted by its existence that it has a remix. I'm not Chris Sanders, but I'm so pissed off for Chris Sanders, even if he gets a payday out of it. They already like edited the original cartoon so that she doesn't hide in a dryer. They're like, oh, we'll put like a table with a pizza box or something, and I'm like, I hate Disney. I hate Disney with all of my being.
If we show it, is Sean gonna leave?
I will take out my earbuds because I have no interest. The first like 10 seconds is shot for shot.
Oh no,
the
it is.
original movie.
It's very
like,
very close.
Go fuck yourselves.
Sorry, Sean.
Like, it's so goddamn ridiculous. Sorry, Sean.
Sorry, Sean. It's up to you, Professor. Yes, Sean, you won't watch it if we put it on?
I'm trying to color something. I will. Whatever. I'll listen to it, and then I will judge all of you for liking it harshly.
Professor.
All right,
but don't get struck.
Yeah, we'll do this a few seconds at a time here.
I don't think anything will happen. It's
We have apprehended a dangerous experimenter. Where is he?
He escaped.
He's trying to find the police cruisers.
He took the
red one.
Yeah, so that is almost exactly, like you said, shot for shot what we got from the original.
Fuck
the
off,
original film.
Disney. Tell me you can't make a movie anymore without telling me you can't make a movie anymore.
Yeah, but honestly, the CGI, the animation looks pretty decent, and the voice acting and stuff, it feels right. So that just like I said, credit where credit's due, right?
I already want to slit my wrist.
What hideous planet is caught in your crosshairs?
Shooting star! I wish for a friend. Like a best friend.
This is elementary school play caliber so far. Let's reenact Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'll be
Honestly,
quiet.
no,
I'll be quiet.
No. You can be critical all you like. It's your
I
opinion.
can't tell you how much I loved that first movie.
Yep.
As like a 21-year-old or whatever, I was like, "This is amazing."
But yeah, I honestly I really like the girl that they got. I think she does really well here at least in the trailer. Her performance is pretty good, but we've seen a lot of really appallingly bad child actors lately, so maybe it's one of those things where it's like good by comparison. I don't know.
Perhaps.
What the hell? Does the ice cream guy now? Oh my god, this looks like shit.
It's your responsibility. Got it. We promise.
Yeah.
Like, the only reason you're gonna watch this is because you want to see an animated Stitch. But go watch the fucking first movie.
Well, here's the thing, Sean. I'm not gonna go see this, and I'm not gonna take my kids to go see this. It'll be on Disney Plus inside of a month. So
Oh my god!
gonna-
I own the Lilo and Stitch direct to DVD movie. That's how much more I would watch that than this. I'm sorry, go ahead. I'll be quiet. I'll mute
No, go on.
myself.
Down from there!
gonna drop out the Elvis music there.
It's a
Okay.
wise choice.
No.
Oop.
Rough.
Nice hot wiring the the car. Yeah, it's just
Why would you have to hotwire
I know it's
power
still,
wheels?
it's silly. It's so dumb.
It
Except
doesn't have
that
keys.
clearly like hot wired it in a way that like juiced it up to where it can go the speed of a regular car. Right? It's not. It's not. We've had those power wheels. One of our neighbors they have one for their kids. It's hilarious because we go out, so we're like, he's driving that thing again, and we'll go out there and look because it goes like 2 miles an hour, and it's so noisy. The idea that you would have a power wheels that would be like spinning out, leaving tire marks. Is hilarious.
When Toys R Us was going out of business, they had the Luke Skywalker land speeder on sale,
Oh
and
my gosh! Yes.
I was poor and still couldn't justify it, but I was trying to reason it with my wife. I was like, I will soup it up and I will drive it to work
Yeah.
every day.
Yes. We actually have a picture of my son sitting in one of those. He was like, "Can I get this?"
Wanted it so bad.
No. No.
Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten.
Stitch that.
Sometimes family isn't perfect. That doesn't mean they aren't good. That was close. I don't think you're supposed to drink that.
My daughter really loves the drinking the
Lava lamp.
lava lamp. She thinks that's absolutely hilarious. I don't know why.
I
Well,
think
they-
this movie
they-
is going to do very well.
Probably because people are stupid. The lava lamp has a bottle cap on the top.
Yes,
if
it
you take
does.
the cap
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
I've always thought, like, oh, that looks confusing.
It's got a little bottle cap on top.
But yeah, I mean, I understand, Sean, that you're like a purist or whatever it is, but it does look kind of wholesome. It doesn't look bad.
It looks terrible. There might be wholesome to it, but it looks like shit.
Chat
Fair enough.
just says they're just sitting here watching Sean die inside.
There were two franchises back in the early 2000s. It was this and Pirates of the Caribbean. I was like, I will ride and die with both of these franchises
Oh, yeah.
until they drive them into the ground, and then I'll be done. It went down hard so fast that I was shocked. Go
Oh,
ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Agent Cobra Bubbles, we have a blue dog to catch.
No, wait.
He dropped his Hawaiian ice.
How do you not cast Ving Rhames?
I don't know.
He's the basis of the effing character.
I
He's the
know.
voice of the character. And why do you not give this man an ice cream cone?
Yeah, he had a Hawaiian ice because
Hmm
it's in Hawaii.
Yeah, it's not ice cream. Guy drops his ice cream several times.
Yeah.
I
Well, he's
actually
got-
saw on Twitter someone was like, "Oh, the ice cream guy is now the snow cone guy," and I was like, "Why?"
and they're gonna have them eating spam masubi and stuff like that. You know.
I mean,
You're right.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I have not watched the original thing that you're talking about.
Really?
Is it not in
Ever?
Hawaii? Where's the original one?
It's
It's
in
in Hawaii.
Hawaii,
Yeah.
and they have Elvis. She loves Elvis. She made me realize how much I love Elvis.
Elvis
And
is good.
the only thing that looks okay in this movie is Stitch, and he is animated and he sounds like Stitch. Go watch the fucking Stitch movie. Sorry, Sean.
Oh wait, I see that there's another super chat. Well, let's finish this
I'll
thing.
finish.
Okay.
There's just the end here.
No. I'm gonna give you to the count of 3, Stitch. 1.
I'm sure she's a very charming little girl. I can't fucking stand her.
Sean.
Take that,
I
child actress.
No, it's not. It's not that she's a bad little girl. It's just that she's not Lilo. This movie does not need to exist, and I'm
Oh,
insulted.
I agree.
that
I
it-
completely agree. It does not need to exist.
I'm
None of these
insulted that it
remakes need to
exists.
exist. Have you seen? First of all, Price, you do need to see Lilo and Stitch.
You do.
It
It's
is
wonderful.
one of the best animated films they made in since their run of films in the 90s when they had lots of just top
Yeah.
tier animated stuff. A
They
lot of
had
their
a
stuff
good.
fell off, but Lilo and Stitch is a standout from the 2000s. Like it's a great
All
film.
right, I'll
They
watch it.
had a
Really well done.
line of films that were good. Like I really liked the Atlantis movie. I loved Lilo and Stitch. Emperor's New Groove was great. Yeah, you should watch it. Do
See,
not watch it on Disney Plus because they edited it or they changed it.
they did.
Yeah.
What did they change?
What did they change?
She hides from her sister and she climbs inside a dryer and the door's closed. They were like, no, little girls or little kids are gonna hide in dryers. So
Oh,
well, obviously physically, they changed the dryer into a table with a pizza box that comes up. She's actually in a dryer whenever her sister finds her. The sister
Wow.
climbs up on top of the dryer and like hides, and then Lilo like creeps out and looks around, and then she catches her right there.
Is there any other changes?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up. What's weird? A weird thing is that they had to change like a plane sequence. This was like right when the movie was coming out because 9/11 happened. There was something with a plane flying around, and they had to change it for that. But that's not related really to them changing the dryer thing. That's the main one that I think. Go ahead, sorry.
Who are you talking to, me or you?
What?
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 No, we're done. We're done with the movie.
Oh, okay, okay.
We're done with the trailer, but no, yeah, it really is a good. It's one of Disney's better animated films, especially for the last for that early 2000s decade. The Atlantis one, I was okay. I never really loved that one. Emperor's New Groove, I enjoyed. I didn't love that one, but I think Lilo and Stitch was a standout.
Emperor's New Groove was freaking hilarious. Sorry, that's just my opinion.
No, I enjoyed it.
I've
I'm
never
saying
seen
like
that one either.
I think that Lilo and Stitch is probably the top of that group of movies that they made. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. Yeah,
the most Disney of them, but with a lot of heart. Emperor's New Groove. My friends and I, when we were in college for cartoons, we were like, this feels like it should have been a Warner Brothers cartoon because it's just so bonkers. I'm looking at me looking up.
I mean, when it comes to these kind of movies, I feel like I remember in the 90s there was a Lion King, there was a Aladdin, there was The Little Mermaid.
Well, they went through a phase where they were like, we're not going to make it a musical anymore. And I was like, F yeah, because I was so sick of musicals. They do have like montages of like Elvis songs and stuff
Sure,
like
sure.
that. But like, I was so glad that they were not doing musicals anymore.
Somebody says the little girl is a transformer. I don't think she is. I don't know.
Ooh.
That would be odd.
Mm,
I don't think that's the
don't-
case.
Don't know.
Don't know.
Anyway, what's your super chat?
The super chat. Oh, that's true. I shared it. I just didn't read it. It's what Google Translate says. Koalas in the rain. No fucks given is in Spanish. I've always suspected that Price was a singer in the song. No, I'm not a singer of that song. But you mean the koalas in the rain? No fucks given. But it's not me singing it.
There never will be with that attitude.
At this hour, I don't even think I did it justice. But
That was good.
at least hopefully, just out of left field, it was at least similar to what they sing there. So
I had Tom so off his game, he even forgot to play the song when I was on the other day.
Well, I mean, the thing is, usually they play it in the morning, and in
Yeah, I know.
Midnight Such After Dark, they have that there's this other ending that he usually puts on, and I think he
Yeah,
put
I
it
know.
on.
I know.
But it's so I understand. I guess he put it in Google Translate. It just wasn't. It wasn't. I usually my Spanish is a bit better. I should have been able to know more than I did, but what can I do? It kind of caught me off guard. Somebody says, Argendum says, the last good classic style Disney movie I can think of was The Princess and the Frog. That was almost 16 years ago.
My brother worked on that.
Yeah?
Did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, I didn't like that one. But
it wasn't my favorite, but I was just happy to see animation,
absolutely.
2D animation in the theater again.
I still take hand-drawn animation over.
Oh yeah, I love it because it's like classical music versus modern. This has always been my argument.
Great analogy. It actually is.
2D animation will always look gorgeous. 3D is always subject to the technology.
Yeah, it's going to look dated in time. Yeah.
I'm so excited this weekend that I am going to see The Day the Earth Blew Up with Daffy Duck and Porky Pig. I'm so happy that there's a 2D movie in theaters again.
Have you seen the trailers for that one, Price?
For which one?
The Day the Earth Blew Up.
I didn't see that. No, what is it?
It's a Looney Tunes movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I don't know if I saw the trailer. I saw a little clip of the video. Do you think it's going to be any good? I didn't know what to think about it.
I cannot wait to watch it. It is the only movie I give a crap about this year.
Is that the one that J.J. Abrams was in charge of? Because that worries me.
I have no idea. Don't tell me that.
I don't know why I thought something about J.J. Abrams, but I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
The title and the free poster that I got, it looked. The title sounds like a B movie from the 50s, and I'm so jazzed. Especially because Daffy Duck is like my favorite Looney Tune.
Well, let me just check. Looney Tunes.
He's gonna ruin it. He's gonna ruin it, Professor.
The early reviews I've seen have been pretty flattering. So I'm hoping it's going to be enjoyable.
I walked, not to talk too much about my job, but I walked by a theater and I heard Daffy Duck go, "I'm gonna be sick!" And I started laughing out loud.
Let me see. Looney Tunes, the day. First of all, it says he was initially attached as an executive producer, but now I want to see if he still is. Let's check.
I briefly had joy.
I'm looking at the thing. I don't see his name. It's
I
not
don't
written.
see him anywhere in the credits now. Not on IMDb.
I feel like if he had anything to do with it, they removed him.
Good riddance.
Maybe it'll be worth something. There was talk initially about him involved in it, but I guess he wasn't.
Like they were trying to attach him, like Steven Spielberg used to be like the executive producer on everything in the 90s.
Okay, so before David Zaslav arrived, J.J. Abrams swindled, in my opinion, the dum-dums that were there before Zaslav, and he convinced them that they need to do a deal that's worth $250 million, that they would pay him, and he would be executive producer of a bunch of projects for them. But shortly after this deal was signed, which I think that they don't give him all the money at once, but maybe they have a bunch of projects that he does, and he makes money off of that. I don't really know all the details, but Zaslav arrived, looked at this contract, and got really, really upset. And in his opinion, this was the worst piece of shit contract ever. And I agree with him. If there's one thing that I agree with, like with David Zaslav, he's like, this J.J. Abrams guy is a joke. And then he just took all the projects that J.J. Abrams was in charge of and canceled them one by one. Because I guess, I don't know how his contract works, but I guess they have to like move forward with the production, or they can say we don't want it. So they just said, all this stuff that you're doing, we don't want it. Screw you. And then, yeah.
And after Star Wars, who would want anything he does?
I don't know who would give him the $250 million deal. I hope that they didn't make a down payment on that, because that would have been really dumb. Really just throwing money out the window.
Yeah, Istafo says he thinks the deal was canceled during the strikes, so that would make sense. Yeah. It's just a 1 minute teaser for this here. So
I hope it's so good. Daffy's the best.
It looked okay. I'll give it a chance. So Istophobos says that because of the strike, they were able to invoke the force majeure clause. I understand that, and if that's the case, that is the best strike that ever happened to David Zaslav. Because man, was that contract a piece of shit contract? Sorry, Sean, that he didn't want. That actually has happened. To me, it's a long story, but during the coup, there was something that because work couldn't get done for a very long time, it ended up being considered a force majeure, and then they could cancel the agreement. So I guess something similar happened, just on a much larger scale, with J.J. Abrams, and it's not. Listen, I don't sit around and wish for bad things to happen to people, and really, it doesn't matter what happens to J.J. Abrams. He still has a lot of money, and even if he does nothing moving forward, he's still going to have a lot of money. I think he's a hack, and he's the Hamburglar of Hollywood, but he's not going to be poor. So it really doesn't matter. But I am, it is rather pleasant to know that they canceled his big Warner Brothers deal. And I've said before that I once had an interaction with him, and it wasn't a positive one. So he's not even on my good list.
Was he at a party and you were supposed to get strippers for?
No, it was it was something else.
Oh, right.
Basically, I shouldn't say it.
I'll say it.
Say it. Okay. I'm gonna regret ever saying this. This is really.
Have I heard this before? Don't say it if I've heard it before.
Nobody's ever heard it, and I'm hesitant to say it, but I'll try to redact whatever I can and just say one thing. I know this is gonna sound strange, what I'm about to say. That's why I don't know if to say it or not.
Well, don't say it then.
Okay.
He's like
J.J. Abrams ghosted me, but in the worst possible way, like in a really shitty way.
Is there a positive way to do that?
No, but let me explain what he did. If I called from my number, like Bad Robot, my number was listed on kind of like a shit list. Sorry, Sean. And when I would call, they would transfer me to like a specific person that would supposedly be taking care of something, and that person didn't exist. It was a phony. It's like like a voicemail that somebody's like, "Hi, this is John Smith. Leave a message and I'll get back to you." And that thing is where they just send people that they just want to get rid of. And
I did
I
not.
realized that that's what was being done, and it was a really, really shitty situation. And that's just I'm giving like about 10% of the story. I can't give any more for several reasons. That's the only thing I can say, that they were instructed to send me to like the voicemail of a person that doesn't exist.
That sounds like some petty shit. And now that you mention it, I don't think that I'm surprised that I never knew that was a thing.
That's like something the Hamburglar would do.
That's what the Hamburglar would do.
Yeah.
And really, the only reason I'm not saying more is because it involves other people.
Yeah.
And once it involves other people, I don't want to cause any kind of, I don't want to do anything that disrespects them. That's why all I can say is my work in this equation and the experience I had. Even this is just like a tip of the iceberg situation. But the bottom line is that there was something. It was just some minor thing, but I was supposed to have some kind of interaction with him and his people, and my impression of him and his people is very poor. That's how I'll say it.
Mm-hmm. Very diplomatic.
Poor, like, on a level of like, wow, you're just a jerk. You know what I mean? That's what I think of the guy. And you wouldn't know it when he goes out and he pretends he's all like, oh shucks. He's not aw shucks at all. He is a jerk, in my opinion.
I honestly haven't seen him since that last Star Wars movie. Didn't do anything.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a few super chats to catch up on, Price.
Oh, wow. Okay. Let's see.
And a membership.
And then you got to tell us about this guy, because I will never have a system that can play their games, but I like hearing about them.
Hold on. Let's see if I can share this. I feel like my screen is doing weird. Give me 1 second.
One.
No, I need another.
You had your time.
Dance, Squid Man, dance.
So, yeah, I can't believe I even shared that much, but that's all I could share.
Yeah, you're good. I mean, I don't know anything, so what do I know? You might be screwed, man.
Well, since Sean asked for it, while you're pulling that up. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I'm pulling this thing up. Okay, I got it. Now I'm going to share it. So, like I said, I don't disrespect other people, because it wasn't just me out of the blue. It involved some of the things that I would sometimes do business. That's why there was any kind of interaction with them. And all I can say is speak my interaction, that I looked at it negatively. Okay, so there's these super chats. For starters, we have Murrockstra for $10. Thank you very much. And your shield is orange, which means you've been here for a while, I think. I don't know the colors, but I think orange is good.
Or are these YouTube shields?
Yeah, like, the YouTube shield. Okay. But these weren't created by YouTube. They have a little crown on them. I personally created these.
But you don't know the color combination?
That would be 6 months, Price.
It would be 6 months? Yeah, no, what happened is that I set up a whole tier system, but the truth is is that at this hour I forgot it. I knew that orange was considered more time than purple, but I wasn't sure. But yeah, this isn't like a default YouTube thing. I actually created those shields like myself. I did them. It has the crown on it, like kind of resembling the crown, the Price of Reason crown.
I made them and I uploaded them, but I didn't pay attention. So
it was a while ago. So Murrockstra says for $10, thank you so much, man. And let me like this. and here also as well. If you're in the US at 2:30 EDT, 11:30 PDT, the totality of the lunar eclipse will start and last around an hour.
Yeah, if this show ends, I'm gonna go out and look at the moon.
Hopefully, it is not cloudy or overcast in your area. Clear skies over New England. Oh, sorry, I don't know what this is. Over
Northeast
Florida,
Northeast Florida. Yeah.
Hmm.
Northeast Florida. Oh, I got it. I thought it was like, I don't know why I thought New
I
England.
don't think it's Nebraska, Florida. I
Right,
think
no.
It's like a
Okay.
Simpsons location.
I'm on the East Coast. I'm like, in the tri-state area. I don't know if I'll be able to see, but I will try it. 2:30 EDT means in like 14 minutes, so I'll
Yeah.
definitely give it a try. Boosh McFadden, welcome to Leapers. Oh, Boosh McFadden, thank you. So Boosh McFadden is now, a member, and that's why he has the purple shield. Murrockstar has the orange shield. 6 months is a big deal.
Uh,
Murrockstar is a serious leaper. And then you have Joshua Calkins. Thanks to the host for fun shows, chat for being hilarious, and Price for Quantum Leap retrospectives. They won't let Yosemite Sam have a gun anymore. JJ equals Dick.
I
yes,
believe that. They won't even give McFarlane permission to make superhero villains with guns.
they won't.
No, like he was putting out figures and they weren't coming with like their accessories of guns, so that to get around it, he put out accessory packs of like, I don't know, like 20 weapons or whatever. So stupid.
That is dumb. And then let me like this also. Thank you, Joshua Calkins. Joshua Calkins also, I've been interacting with him for a long time, and always like his insight and his comments in the chat, and he shows up in a lot of our streams, and it's always really cool. Professor R2, member for 6 months. Nice, Professor. You did it.
I made it.
So thanks to everybody here. If I, since we're gonna, start shortly. Well, we do have one other thing I wanted to ask you about the Space Marine 3.
Yes, I was gonna
Wasn't
say.
there something they released?
Sean mentioned that showing off his Space Marine. So yes, we have Space Marine 3. Oh, I'm sharing my screen.
Okay, I'll put your thing, and then we'll go back to the other one. Okay.
Yeah. So Space Marine 3, Space Marine 2 was kind of a surprise hit. The original Space Marine, actually a really good game, but it's been a while since that came out. Space Marine 2 came out this last year, and it was a big hit, and a lot of people enjoyed it. Of course, part of that was that it was not like miserable and woke. Oh, Sean get booted. No, part of that is that was not.
I was struck.
There you go.
218. You are done, sir.
Yeah. Whack.
Fine. Sorry.
But yeah, it was a game that proved to be not miserably woke, and so it did really well in the market. People were like, "Hey, there's a game that isn't Star Wars Outlaws and doesn't have ugly female characters and just has some badass action and is fun. Wow, let's play that." So yeah, it did really well in the market. So yeah, they've announced the company come out. Saber said it's proven transformative for their company. It's a culmination of everything we learned about game development in 25 years, and they're starting development on Space Marine 3. And they understand, yeah, it's going to have some big shoes to fill when it comes to being able to keep up with the pace and the fun of the second game, but they're excited for the challenge. So hopefully we're not going to have to wait for this for 6 years, like so many other games, recently. Hopefully they're going to be on top of this with something we'll get to see in the next couple of years. But who knows? Game development is a really sketchy biz right now. Really difficult for some studios to actually deliver anything, much less on time. So I'm excited for this. I've played these. They're definitely fun, definitely enjoyable games. and we'll see what happens with the third installment of the series there. But it's going to feature the same central character, Titus, of the Ultramarines, and I honestly I just need to go back and play these again. I thought the length of the campaign in the second one was a little weak, but it was still very enjoyable. So yeah.
Yes.
A lot of people very excited.
But
For
didn't
this
they
one.
have like a little video or something, or they didn't have even
Let's see.
video?
Is there a? Let's see. I don't have a video here. Let me
Maybe
see
on
if
Twitter. I think there was something.
Was there something on Twitter? Let's see.
Oh, that's a good face of mine.
Saber Games. I'm not seeing a video.
Okay, let me check for a second. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, I just see an announcement posted by Focus Games and Saber.
I don't know why I thought there was a brief video, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was just,
There's a. Here you go. You get a nice.
It's just the picture. Yeah, there's not.
There's a nice GIF there.
The Predator meme.
Marines with doing the Predator meme. Yes.
It's actually funny.
You son of a bitch.
That's like the best. That's the best movie.
There's so much about Predator that is the best movie. Yes, it's amazing.
so much stuff that's like wacky happens in that movie, and it's all great. Every single minute of it. So I guess we can start wrapping up. I just want to go over. I want to go over first of all. Just thank everybody again. It's the Phobos for the 5 gifted memberships. The Big Ship for 20 gifted memberships. Deadman for $2, then $5. Murakstra for $10. Bush McFadden for joining Leapers. Joshua Calkins $4.99. And Professor R2, thank you for being here for 6 months. You got an orange shield. And then once again, I want to again really thank so much. Thank One Dirty Bird. That is a very, very generous gift. I was kind of shocked, and I'm still shocked even thinking about it, and I'm very, very thankful. And that's, I guess...
Yeah. Amazingly generous, One Dirty Bird.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Is he still here? Is he still here? I hope he didn't...
He's still been chatting a little here and there.
I hope he didn't leave it and run away. I hope he's still here.
Just drop that in the chat and then head off. No, I think he's...
This is just amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, wild.
I mean, every support we get is always very helpful. It's always great, and it'll help, create more for you, more streams, more videos, more things. But I don't take it for granted, and I'm.
One Dirty Bird's listening to us while trying to get some mods working on Borderlands 2, apparently. So yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
He says your guts are worth it. I would hope so. You guys are worth it.
Borderlands 2, by the way, best of the series. Borderlands 2 is so good. Just start to finish. Such a great game.
So yes, I guess let's try to go through the people that have been talking to us. I think that because we were, kind of booted out and came back, we may not have everybody. But I see Dude Rosef, Mary White, Eraserhead. We have Tim Hayes, S. Wilson, 1973. Tim Hayes, I think I said Mary White. Murakstra, Joshua Calkins, Jimmy Nature. Istophobos, Argentum, Eraserhead, UK Gamer. One Dirty Bird,
Yeah, I know Smilex was here with us earlier. The Supermod Eraserhead here. Thank you for helping us out this evening.
I saw Marla Sharondoff here at some point. I'm pretty sure of it.
Yes, I'm
Oh
Marla.
yeah, here I see her. And I guess she agrees with Sean. She's saying, "I'll watch the cartoon, not the film."
Yep.
Oh
The
my
Dead
god, I
Man.
forgot that existed. You just brought it back again.
Sorry, Sean. Deplorable, deploradorable one. Price streams karaoke occasionally is pretty good. Thank you. That's very nice of you to say. I do that sometimes. In the future, I may shift that to another channel, because when you do those kind of karaoke streams, you get a lot of claims and stuff, and I don't want problems. Captain Palsy, thank you for being here. Kit Kat. Bought tickets for next Wednesday. I don't know what the
for the
Day of the Earth
Looney Tunes movie.
Okay. Stronger Now. Season 5 of The Chosen coming out in theaters this month is the best. I haven't yet watched that show. I probably should. Boosh McFadden. Stronger Now, I said. Tim Hayes. I think I got a lot of people, but I want to make sure.
We got Kivo 1961. It's over on Rumble early on, so regular hanging out there. And I think you got Dude Bro, Dubros F420, Luke Big 80, also over on Rumble. Stronger Now. I think you might have said that one. Let's see. You got Deploradorable. Rockstro. The Real Shunkrimal.
Shunkrimal? So one word.
The Real Shunkrimal.
It's Crumel.
Crumel. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's. I thought it was like Kalima, like saying some sort of chant before you pull my beating heart out.
Never know.
Mary Busuito one. Busuito one. I don't know. I'm probably
Simon Wilson.
Yeah.
Simon Wilson, thanks for the shout out. I'm definitely watching the Daffy and Porky film.
And Jimmy Nature. Yeah, One Dirty Bird. Once again, thank you. And I think we got just about everybody. I hope we didn't miss anyone, but since we lose the early chats sometimes, I know I did see Smilex. If you're listening afterwards, Smilex.
I see Rob Altus. I feel like some people, they actually don't participate in the chat, but at the end when we
very
read
heavily, when we're doing the shout outs, hey, pop in and say hey, and then we'll get you. Yeah,
it's just fair enough. Listen, some people, that happens to me sometimes. I put it on the TV or put it somewhere, and I can understand that. That's why I always say that if you're not already signed up for Rumble, you should do it. Even if you're on TV, you should do it. It's good to have the notifications and all that stuff. And there's a free tier, so you should definitely subscribe to Rumble. And if you're on Rumble and already subscribed, you should follow us and hit the like button. And same thing, any other platform, wherever you're at, you want to subscribe, hit the like button. All of that really helps us, so we'd appreciate that. And they're just such a, I really enjoy. Not only do I enjoy talking to you guys, to Professor and to Sean, it's nice to see you here today because I know you've been really busy. This group of people here, that there's a lot of people that I see them every time here when we hang out. I really like that kind of community. I like it when we do even the Quantum Leap streams, the kind of community, and some of the people from there also come here. But this one is even a bigger community, and I just really love that we're all hanging out. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
Parasocial family.
Our Rob Altus says, I love listening while doing stuff. I can understand that. Jimmy Nature, great show. Love you guys. Have a great night, everyone. We feel the same way about you. Thank you. And
Absolutely.
Argentum says, I frequently have streams on for background noise while I'm gaming or working. That is fair enough.
Yeah.
They're lurking. Mary White says, yeah, some of them are lurking. I understand that, but we like everybody. We understand that some people like to do stuff and put it on in the background, and some people are more active, and we're cool with everything.
Yeah.
And happy to be here. Happy to do this.
Yeah.
And today
happy to be here on Rumble, man. Such a fantastic platform. I'm so glad that we get to be out there and streaming on Rumble and
definitely
bringing in an audience there.
Definitely. That's like I always say, and I'm almost like a broken record, it really is what inspired this show is to we wanted this kind of stream where we can just talk freely and do our thing. And yes, it's on other platforms too, but Rumble is like the home base, and we're just really happy with it. So on that very positive note, I guess Stronger Now says this is my second show and I enjoyed it. Thanks. And we're very happy to have you here. Hopefully you'll come for a third show.
Yeah.
So if you guys, do you have anything else to plug? Anything, Sean? You have your comics.
I have my comics. I'm trying to get issue 3 out.
Yes, Rockstra was asking about issue 3.
I feel so guilty with Rockstra. He's like, "Where's issue 3?" And I'm like, "I had to unload a semi truck. I'm working on it."
Well, I just want to say that I really appreciate what you're doing, Sean, with this comic. I know, like, a lot of people, and there's nothing wrong with crowdsourcing and stuff like that, but Sean is the type of guy that he just like made it happen. He wanted to have a comic. He has a comic. He did that, and you can buy it. And I just think that's really cool that you made all of that happen.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, we have your friend IF Nudick says I half lurk because I'm busy playing Beatles songs on this little Spanish guitar and drinking most nights.
Nice.
So, we're glad to have you, IF.
So One Dirty Bird says good night, all. Good night to you, and thank you again. Thank you for the super chat.
Jimmy Nature wants to know where to buy the comic.
I have no privileges to post in the chat. I don't think.
Can you? What do I do?
Here, I posted it.
First of all,
there it is.
Oh, that's the all products page. Although that's not, but you can find
it's on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just look for my name.
Yeah.
So John
Smacked in the Head is the name of the comic.
John Cetopia from the Barren Lands, lurker here. Love the show. Good night, fellas. Hey, thank you. It's like suddenly the people that have never spoken have like popped up, but we love that. It's always nice. You don't have to speak every second. Always feel free to tell us when you're lurking. We'll give you a shout out.
And I encourage anybody out there to buy the sketch variants. Make Sean draw you something absolutely ridiculous for the cover.
Happens.
Yes. And then maybe he'll even show it to us here on the stream.
The most curious versions were doing sketch covers of the characters right before having, like, they had to wear Kiss makeup. That was Marostro's version of it. So I had to come up with a narrative in my head to make that make sense. And then Nick wanted to see Sam having leapt into the robot sidekick of the main character, even though it breaks Quantum Leap lore, but I still tried to make it happen.
By the way, I just shared it, I think, on all platforms, so I think they should all have access to it now. When you click on that link that I just shared, it's called Smacked in the Head. That's Sean's comic. You should check it out. Sean's awesome.
Thanks.
And
that's all I've wanted to be all my life.
No, but you know what? I'll say it again. You did your own thing. You never said, "Oh, I need to do it. Can you help me? Can you do this?" Not that there's anything wrong with asking for help, but you just wanted to do it and you did it. And I have a lot of respect for how you put it together.
Thinks I had help.
you know what? Whatever you organized on your end to make it work, you did it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand you had help, but I'm just saying, like, it wasn't a situation that you were, you know, you did it like you did it outside the internet. You know what I mean? You did your own thing and you created your comic, and that's what I think is great.
I don't think it would have happened otherwise.
You never know, but the fact that you decided to do it and you're doing it, a lot of respect, and I hope that Murrockstar will get to see his third issue soon
So do I.
because he's really,
He
really.
did it his way.
We can do at least 6 issues, and I just need to work some stuff out.
All right. So I'm writing to people just so they know it's called Smacked in the Head. That's the name of the comic. Just so when they go there, they know what it is. Professor, do you have anything you want to plug?
Oh, not anything in particular. Normally on Friday nights, we'd a bunch of us be hanging out over on B-sides. Unfortunately, Adam Gray and his lovely wife are down with the flu or whatever
Oh,
illness
I'm
has been
sorry.
going around. So
I was wondering where that neither of them were
yeah,
here. I was just wondering
they've
about it.
been they've not been doing so well. So, but we are gonna we're gonna be hanging out. I'm gonna be hosting a little watch party over on our the B-roll Discord tomorrow night for everybody. So that will be fun.
Oh,
We're
okay. Well, maybe I'll join you for the occasion if I can.
yeah. I can share the Discord link with you.
Yes, put your links in, because I'm always like, where is that guy more? And it never gets recommended to me, even though we're on a show together.
Let's see. Get a link. Or maybe, yeah, Eraserhead's got it. There we go. Eraserhead's got a Discord invite there. Yeah, but
Gotcha.
we're going to be watching the classic Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park.
Oh my god. Godspeed. Maybe I won't. Maybe I won't follow you.
It's very much in line with the B-roll B-sides vibe. It's not the worst thing you've ever seen, but it's close.
Yeah.
Well, I
And
guess,
then we watch it and make fun of it.
well, I'll try to stop by if I can.
Yeah, I feel like.
And I guess you know, maybe it's a good time to say goodbye to everybody and be on our way.
Go see the moon.
We'll go look at the
Oh
moon.
yes, yeah. Don't forget the lunar eclipse going on.
Thanks, guys. It
that
was
out.
great hanging out. We'll see you guys on Tuesday at 11:45 p.m. Eastern. Bye for now.
Good night.
Good night.